Have got a really good squad. They can rotate if needed, and they're not lessening the ability of the group by putting these subs in. Sometimes they might be improving that. And so fresh legs, I think, on a Tuesday night after a long trip to Leyton Orient just makes a lot of sense to me. I think more than likely as well he would have liked to have done Mullin as well with Fletcher. I thought he might have done both front two. But when we got here earlier, Mullin was having a little fitness test, a few runs and stuff with the physio, so maybe he's just a bit precautionary and saying, right, well, you're fit enough to be on the bench, and can we get you through your next couple of games until the international break?
Yeah, exactly. So that Wrexham starting lineup, Arthur Okonkwo's in goal. The back three will be Tom O'Connor on the left, Owen O'Connell shifting across to the right, Dan Scarr in the middle of them. In midfield, you would assume it's George Evans anchoring with George Dobson to his right and James McLean to his left in the middle three. I guess Evans and Dobson could switch around, but that certainly was how they played at Orient. Ryan Barnett continues on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side is Seb Reven, and up front, Jack Marriott and Steve Fletcher.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the two Georges, if you like, in there, whether they are two sitters in front of the three, which will release a little bit more Barnett and Seb Reven up the sides, and they can be the ones that attack more than the two central midfielders, or whether they will stick with the plan, the one pivot, and go Dobson up a little bit more and just use his legs maybe to just get around the pitch. They have got a dogged three in there. They are ratters, complete ratters. We call them ratters in the game, where they are just non-stop. You know, you wind them up and off they go for 90 minutes, and they will be right at your tail when you've got the ball. So that'll be a really interesting battle in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I was thinking that this change, as much as anything else, really gives you solidity. No one's going to run through the middle of our team, you wouldn't hope. It was like that on Sunday with the women's team when we played a box midfield with essentially a centre-back and a centre-back come holding midfielder as the bottom two, and then Lily Jones, who can cover every blade of grass but can play centre-back and is really physical as one of the two forward ones, and he's come on and come through the middle of us. So yeah, I quite like the look of it.
Yeah, that's right. They are warriors really in there. They are dogged. Stevenage are a really difficult team to play against. They do their jobs. They're very organised. Like we said before, they do not let many goals in at all. So they're really solid from their shape. They also don't score many, looking at their statistics. So this is a game where we're just going to have to work as hard as them, if not harder, to make sure that we get our stance and take the majority of the game to them.
Yeah, 11 goals in Stevenage's 8 games so far to both teams. Stevenage have only scored 6, but have the equal best defence in the division. They've only let in 5. Wigan, the other two, have let in 5. We've only let in 6, and 3 of them were in one game. So, yeah, you suspect that. I'm not saying it'll be cagey, but I do think that, yeah, these will be two well-matched sides. And you wouldn't have thought it's going to be 17-16. But you never know, do you? Football's an odd game. The subs for Wrexham, by the way, are Callum Burton, Lewis Brunt, Andy Cannon, Ollie Palmer. Mullin is on the bench, so they must feel he's got some minutes in his legs. Jacob Mendy and Elliot Lee. Stevenage rotate their team quite a bit as well, and there's some interesting players coming in. Murphy Cooper is in goal. He played against us last season. A lot of people may not realise that because he had a different name then. He's just changed his name. His name was Murphy Maloney, and he was the goalie who played in goal for Swindon when we drew 5-5, which has got to be some sort of promising sign. Across the back, they're unchanged. Dan Butler, left back. Luther James Wilden at right back. Nathan Thompson and Carl Piagiani, a familiar figure at centre-back. But they've changed a lot of the team ahead of them. Lewis Thompson will still anchor them in midfield. Eli King comes in there as well, with Dan Phillips, Trinidadian international. Interesting attacking players. Jordan Roberts on the right. He scored a good goal for us for Aldershot a few years ago. And then in attacking positions, Jake Young and Jamie Reid. Reid, of course, Northern Ireland international. Young is, of course, the player who last season, alongside Dan Kemp, looked sensational in the first half of the season for Swindon. Bradford brought him back, didn't use him all that much, and now he's here.
They're all here, aren't they?
Yeah,
ex-Swindon team, isn't it?
And Kemp's on the bench.
That's right.
So, yes. So, They sound like they're sort of frustrated, feeling they're playing well, but they're not quite getting the end product that they deserve, but they're getting there, they seem to think.
And I think that's why you change the team as a manager. You've got your set back four, you can tell by the numbers, you've got 2, 3, 5 and 6. That's when you're writing your team sheet and giving them squad numbers, you want that as your back four. So that's their back four, and so they're just searching for those goals and how they can create goals at the top end of the pitch, so hence why 4 or 5 changes, just to try and mix it up a little bit.
Exactly so, as the game is about to begin. Stevenage in white shirts and red shorts, Wrexham in our gold kit. Excellent support by Wrexham, not quite a sellout, but certainly a really good turnout for a horrible Tuesday night, with lots of flooding and all sorts going on, and acts of God, pestilence, that sort of stuff. And we are waiting for the referee, Will Finney, to decide that he's ready, and we'll get the game underway. Nice compact little modern ground, this Broadhall Way. Wrexham will be defending the end that their fans are at in the first half. Well, Will Finney, will he or won't he? He's waiting a hell of a long time to make sure everything's fine.
He's gone ready a bit early, hasn't he? He's gone early.
Yeah, that's it.
He's waiting for the nod.
He's laid his whistle on the table, and now he's going to live with it. I got to say, I like it here, because in the press box there's window ledges behind us that you can use to stick your stuff. It's fantastic. It's so luxurious.
You mean you're not sat on your box and your bag and all that? Yeah.
So often the case, that, isn't it? He's still waiting, old Finney. Oh, he's got a crack, surely, hasn't he? You don't want to play this guy at poker. He goes, and we're off at last. Pijani hits a long ball forwards, and it hangs in the winds. McLean nods it clear. Fletcher tries to get a touch and is then pressing hard. Stevenage go long down the flank, but it ricochets for a throw to Wrexham, despite the dissent of Jake Young. So Wrexham with a throw by the corner flag. O'Connor putting it into the second hole. Fletcher gets a bit of a nudge before it arrives, though, and it's headed in towards the edge of the area by Wilden. Good foot in, wins it back, and Marriott back helping out, helps it wide to the right-hand side, and Barnes has a first chance to come forwards. He gets cut off quite quickly, and Wrexham are moving the ball around at the back now. Here now, long ball forwards by Evans down the right. Ball headed poorly away. Can Wrexham break onto this? Marriott's driving down the right. He overruns it in the end, and it's thumped clear. Wrexham get it back, and O'Connell, well, has he want to throw in? Yes, he has, on the halfway line. Well, it's all, there's not much space out there at the moment, both times trying to get at each other.
Yeah, I think this is a game, though, that Wrexham, they normally drop into their block, happy for the opposition team to have it. I think Stevenage will be fairly similar, and so I'm thinking Wrexham need to take that first step, get on the ball and try and be the dominant team in this particular game.
I mean, we got the players on the ball, the three midfielders, not only physical, but they can use it well. As ball forwards by O'Connell's a nice one, and Fletcher chested down, and Marriott is it on goal here? Hits it just over the bar. Took it early and skims the bar.
Well, we talked about playing, but it's O'Connell that just drops the ball into Fletcher's chest, really. He just nudges it round the corner to Marriott. Good relationship between the two. And then it's a little 50-50 that Marriott comes out with a good touch out of his feet, edge of the box. He'd be disappointed not to hit the target, but he strikes it well enough just over the bar.
You'd imagine that Fletcher's a nice player to play alongside. The two of them, you feel, would be similar high levels they played at, attuned to each other's movements, and that looked like that, didn't it?
Yeah, well, when you play as a two, you want to have that relationship and understand that you're playing as a two together, so you're there to create stuff just between you two for the team, not just on your own, and they'll be looking for each other straight away.
As Wrexham claim the ball back, and the ball's driven in towards the feet of Marius. He can't quite pick it up. A free kick's given against Wrexham in midfield. Look, more like a collision than a foul maybe to me, but then I'm incredibly biased, so let's be honest.
Well, I think Fletcher tried to lay it off to Marriott, who was peeling around the front of him. A little poor touch from him, which is unlike him, when he's gone to rescue the touch and clattered into, I think it was the centre midder.
Well, Phillips.
Sorry, Phillips, yeah. They're both up and hobbling, but they'll be all right, I'm sure.
So, Murphy Cooper, the keeper, he's a new man up to take the free kick about 10 yards short of the halfway line. It's stood up diagonally, and they're using the height of Wilden, the fullback, but it's a good header clear by O'Connor, lifted back in. Scar beaten to it in the air, and everyone's just tentative. McLean does well to tidy it up, and O'Connor gets it back to Okonkwo, quickly out to the right hand side, and now Wrexham will look to come forward with O'Connell. Long ball forwards towards Marriott, not dealt with that well by Pirjani, and now here's Reven, first chance to make an impression. McLean goes outside him, 25 yards out, return pass is a good one. Reven tries to cut inside, a firm tackle, but Reven holds on to it well. On his right foot now, back to McLean, typical first time cross to the far post, just too high for Fletcher, but Wrexham again will retrieve this on the right flank, and it's a chance to deliver once more. Ball swung in and goes across the face of goal and is put behind for the corner. Phil Parkinson clapping. This is a good, intense start by us.
Yeah, really good. And it's McLean playing from that centre midfield role, goes around Reven to go for the overlap. I think they're going to have loads of space outside because we're playing a 4-3. We're the 3-5-2 against a 4-3-3. Our wide men should have loads of the ball, and if McLean can help and Dobson can help Barnett, we should have loads of joy out there.
Corner then, left hand side, and it's going to be an away swinger by O'Connor, who sweeps into the 6-yard box, across the face of the 6-yard box, and now King will try and bring it clear, knocks it up to the halfway. That's a testing ball, it's a very good ball. Danger here for Wrexham as down the right hand side. It's a good burst by Reed, but he can't pick out a teammate, and then O'Connor did well carrying it away and drawing the foul in his own half. Free kick.
They broke quick, very, very quick. Nice ball in the centre midfield by Phillips, dropped it over the top for Roberts. He looks for the early cross, but maybe I think he could have gone 1v1 up against the recovering defender, but decides to go early with the cross, and Barnett gets a good toe on it to clear it.
So Wrexham again building again for their fans, making all the noise behind them. Scar making his first league start for Wrexham. I bet he didn't expect that when he came in the summer. Knocks it long. Reven jumps and does well to beat Wilden in the air. Two Wrexham players chasing this and putting pressure on. Thompson does well to clear it, and it's flicked on into midfield. O'Connor creates a loose ball, and Scar calmly steps in and out of space for Dobson. Sweeps it out to Barnett, right hand side. He's got a run now at the fullback. There's nobody to cover, and Barnett sweeps a good ball to the far post. Good defensive header by Wilden, who the referee says is fouled by Reven. But I was encouraged at the start of that move to see Reven beating Wilden, who obviously they're using as an aerial target.
Yes, he got the run on him, got across the front of him, was able to just flick it on. But again, the width is where all our space is. So that drop ball into the centre of the pitch, and Dobson picks it up. Barnett's got half the pitch to himself. Ball out to him, and he's obviously 1v1. He goes for it, doesn't he? Good cross. Wing back to wing back. Reven just this time. Free kick on Wilden.
Long go, free kick over the top, comes to nothing. Okonkwo claims it. Reed was keen to try and run after it, but didn't really have that much of a chance. And now again, O'Connell is bringing the ball out. It's good for Parkinson with the way that the team plays, that O'Connell can shift across, and he's comfortable on the ball. He can do a lot of what Cleworth wants to do.
Well, the level of his game went up, I felt, last season when he moved into that central one, because he was able to help Max on that right, but also still play those decent balls from the middle of the pitch out to the wing backs. But this time, yeah, he's okay to just move to that right hand side. Dan Scar, loads of experience, comes into the middle. And
Scar, of course, there's a lot of physicality in that back three. And just then, we had an example of what you were talking about. When Scar fed Barnett, he chose not to drive it as man, because he received it quite deep, but there was so much room on that flank. As here is Barnett helping it on. Marriott tries to work it wide. Intercepted, throw to Wrexham. Barnett has the ball in his hands, about 10 yards into Stevenage's half. This is a good start by Wrexham. Dobson as Evans making a little run inside him, goes backwards instead. O'Connell carries to the halfway line, loads up a big diagonal and drills it to Reven. Good ball. Reven has a chance now again to run at Wilden. Plays the 1-2 instead. Return pass from Fletcher. Wilden is stuck with Reven, who gets there first. Reven now trying to twist around and find a space. He gets in the cross. Does it go for the corner? It's a real wrestling match between those two. And in the end, Wilden manages to knock it off Reven. I think I've already decided that duel's going to be fun.
That's going to be good, isn't it? That two quick players. Wildin, I think he started at Nuneaton Borough, had a bit of a game at Nuneaton Borough, my local side, and then made his way to Peterborough. They took a chance on him, but had really poor injuries. Was part of the V9 Academy, I think, as well.
Their first person to join it.
That's right. And with Danny Newton, who was a player for me at Tamworth. But yeah, he looks like he's got his fitness back. It's going to be a great battle, that side.
He's a real sort of athletic, well-built fullback, isn't he? Like I said, using him as a target when they had a free kick and we're trying to play to the edge of Wrexham's area tells you something. But Reven is giving as good as he's getting at the moment. Remember, you can get in touch on the hashtag AskWrexham, ASKWXM on Twitter.
It was sandwich fillings, wasn't it, last weekend?
Sandwich fillings, and I forgot to mention them. I've forgotten what I said this time as well. Long ball forwards, and here is that duel, and Wildin managed to flicker on beyond Reven, but O'Connor reads it and clears into midfield. Dobson backpedaling, trying to get there, can't, and Reed helps it on, an awkward one O'Connor has to get rid of, but here's danger now. King drives forward, his shot blocked by O'Connell, and Wrexham will bring it away. Barnett didn't realise, I think there was a player on him there, and so he had to hurry. He's cleared into midfield. Heavy touch, but it's fed forwards once more. Stevenage wanting a free kick against Barnett, correctly not given, and the ball's fed back, and again the crowd are shouting in a long-range shot, and it's in! Well, he hit it from a hell of a long way out, but I didn't expect Okonkwo to get beaten from that range, to be honest.
Well, they just tried it a second before, and it was a good block by O'Connell. But then again, the big touch by Thompson into the middle of the pitch. And like I say, I don't think he strikes it particularly brilliantly, but it's skiddy across the surface, probably just kicks on a little bit, surprised Arthur Okonkwo in goal, and it's gone right in that bottom corner for 1-0.
Yeah, exactly, skiddy, exactly, wasn't it? It really sort of skimmed across the surface.
Across it, yeah.
And Wrexham are down. I mean, it was right in the bottom left corner, to be fair, but nonetheless, yeah, I don't think Okonkwo was expecting it, or would have expected to have been beaten from that range. So Wrexham fall behind after a really bright start, and I think just have to keep doing what they were doing, getting it out wide, stretching them and trying to get at them.
Yeah, absolutely. What the front three have done for Stevenage really well is gone pressing straight away in transition. They've gone to put a bit of pressure on, and that time it was Barnett in the corner. Didn't really know he was there, and his clearance didn't manage to beat that first player, so they were able to keep it alive in Wrexham's half, which enabled Thompson to have that space in the central part of the pitch.
Here's Scar now with a header from the restart. Good acceleration to get onto it by Butler, but a poor pass, launching it straight through to Arthur Okonkwo. And Wrexham build from the back once more. O'Connell invites pressure, and then Evans is challenged successfully. Throw to Wrexham, but good energy by Phillips, who's already shown a good bit of presence in the middle of the pitch. Throw to Wrexham. About 15 yards short of the halfway line, right-hand side. O'Connell down the flank, stretching, it's headed clear. Wrexham fighting to win it back. Evans heads it away, it comes back in. O'Connell makes it his and drives the long one. Piagiani gets up as Marriott tries to get in behind him. It's crowded in midfield. Wrexham putting pressure on to try and claim it back, but a free kick is given to Stevenage as Fletcher goes in, and that little spell of pressure ends.
Yeah, if Wrexham are going to play through the central midfield, the middle third of the pitch, they've got to just do it a little bit quicker. Evans there, he comes off a little bit slow off his man Phillips, and Phillips is able to then come on the pass, go and engage him really quickly, which then rushes him in. He's got to be a little bit sharper with his movement to create those angles to make the passes a little bit quicker.
Here's the keeper again with the free kick, standing up a diagonal. And Scar underneath that heads it firmly into midfield. Marriott, it comes off his chest a bit too hard, but Evans partly clears it up. Then Fletcher seems to foul in midfield, nothing given. Reven, poor first touch, but he recovers well and hooks a long ball forwards, and Piagiani drives it away. Ball falls on the right-hand side, and Roberts switches nicely, inviting Piagiani to join in. Wrexham dropping off as Stevenage have it in the middle of the pitch. Big diagonal, backpedaling, it's headed clear by O'Connor. Evans helping it on. Wrexham struggling to get the ball down to him. Dobson heads on. Stevenage pick it up again, and here is Thompson once more. The fans telling him to shoot. He works it wide this time. Wilden works it back, neat ball round the corner, it's helped on again. And now here is Thompson once more. King's inside him. He cuts inside Evans neatly and then back outside him and drills across the far post. No one's there, but they're getting at us here.
Well, it's Reid that's come right across from the opposite flank to come and help over with Wilden, and he's crossed it to himself because that's where he should be, over the other side of the pitch. So, yeah, but the front three are really fluid. Young, Roberts and Reid, they're ending up anywhere in positions, but happy to just fill in with each position when each person's gone out their original slot, if you like.
Well, Stevenage really getting their tails up here. They've won it back again and start going down the right hand side with Wilden 30 yards out, helps it on, and it's a neat ball inside. Attempt by King to work it square. It's a chance, a huge block that. The ball's driven back in from distance, and Okonkwo makes a great save from Butler. But that was a big opportunity for Jamie Reid, wasn't it?
Well, brilliant little run down that inside channel by Phillips. He's strong. Little reverse pass into Reid, who takes a touch. But O'Connell, wow, puts his body on the line, dives in front of it, and a great block, double-footed block out to safety. But then Okonkwo alive to the rebound. Great strike by Butler. And a really good save out, and Barnett clears his lines.
Wrexham, after that bright start, rocking after conceding that goal. Throw-in's taken. Here's King again down the left-hand side, turning, looking for a chance to cross. He's won a corner.
They just can't get out, Wrexham.
No.
At the moment, they haven't got enough quality on the ball at the moment to just play their way out. And when it does go up, we're not winning or keeping the ball at the moment.
Corner in swinger from the left-hand side. It's a man on Okonkwo, another man at the far post for Stevenage. A real crowd now as they pen Okonkwo in. Wrexham have sent an extra man into that crowd as the ball's swung in dangerously. Good header clear. The ball drops back in the box. Reven clears it now. Can Wrexham break? Good work to hold it up by Marius. He gets his head up and he waits until there's a player in a position, but then he doesn't find him, and Stevenage can come forwards again. McLean was the player he was looking for. Good tackle by Marius. Well, actually, he's ridden well, and that's a free kick to Stevenage. McLean's furious at Marius for not picking him out.
Well, I don't know why he doesn't take a touch and keep it, because really he's done all the hard work. He's taken the ball and got it under control. McLean's making the run, which has taken the two defenders with him. He's got Acre in front of him just to take his time and keep the ball for us, but he forces a pass down the side, puts his teammates back under pressure.
Wrexham really having to dig deep here. Free kick about 30 yards out. Wrexham fans still making good noise, but their team need to step this up. Here's Eli King on loan from Cardiff. Free kick, like I said, about 30 yards out. Wrexham are holding a line pretty much on the edge of the box. Two-man wall. Wrexham fans still really getting behind their team. The team need this backing at the moment. Big men lurking at the far post. King signals, sweeps a good ball in. It's gone behind for the goal kick. But that was nasty, wasn't it, behind the Wrexham defence?
It was. I thought Scar got a little touch, did enough to put it behind, but obviously he missed it. Player behind gone careering into the post, I think.
Yeah, Stevenage player. Not sure. It's not Thompson, is it? No, he's out there. He's okay anyway.
I think it is Nathan Thompson. It's the centre half.
But yeah, Wrexham again under pressure there. Great delivery. Couldn't quite put it in onto a player's head. But yeah, I thought Scar got a touch too, and it was the sort of ball in that a defender ends up heading into the net. It's dropped beautifully in between the keeper and the defence. So 17th minute, Wrexham a goal down and having to withstand a lot of pressure. Okonkwo drilling it through the middle. Again, has picked up Marius rather than Fletcher. It's headed away. Barnett on the right-hand side, pulling it back to O'Connell. Takes a touch. Reven is offering for the diagonal. Doesn't come on this occasion. Scar keeps it moving to O'Connor again. Stevenage press, and they force the mistake. O'Connor slices his ball down the line, out of play.
Yeah, good pressure. The three centre forwards for Stevenage are 3 for 3 up front. That's their job. Don't worry about the wing backs. You're going and putting pressure on the ball that's being played from the central three. we've got to be able to play from there. We've got to get Revan on it, miss that front three out.
Throw-in taken, McLean gets a foot in, but he can't retain possession. It's not long. O'Connor back down the line. McLean, misjudged that. He was unsighted. It's gone the wrong way off his head. Throw into Stevenage. O'Connor tries the cheekiest, it's our throw, that routine of all time. And so to throw in 10 yards into Wrexham's half, you just want to see Wrexham get the ball down, just have possession, if even just for possession's sake, just to take the sting out of Stevenage. Throw. The ball is worked backwards into the Stevenage half. Piergiani, who we need to watch out for on set pieces, got 12 goals a couple of seasons ago for Salford. Ball over the top, Scar helps it away, and Fletcher wins a good header and finds Marriott, who gets the free kick from Thompson.
Piergiani, I tried to sign him when he was at Boston. He was an absolute head it and boot it. Young kid then, very, very good. Ended up going to Salford, doing very well with Salford, taking them up the leagues. But we can't just keep putting it on his head. We've got to play down the sides of him if we're going to create anything.
It's under free kick. Revan tries to work her inside. It's under hit. And it's launched long, goes out for a throw-in on a halfway line to Wrexham.
Yeah, we spoke about the middle three of us being very, very dogged, absolute grafters. Maybe with that, you just lose that creativity, that player with a cannon that can carry the ball a little bit, a James Jones that can maybe just come up with something around the box a little bit different.
As when Wrexham's throw, the ball ricochets it kindly for Stevenage into the box, and the keeper is able to pick it up. Remember, you can get in touch using the hashtag #AskWrexham. If you can see where my glasses are, that would be great as well. If you're so, tell me where my glasses are on Ask Wrexham. Andy looks under my team sheet.
I've got mine, but they'd be no good.
Fair enough. Long ball forward, Scarred as well in the air, just pushes his man off the ball. The ball bounces loose in midfield. Phillips can't quite come out with it. It's really crowded in there, but McLean clatters into his man. Free kick. Jordan Roberts, the recipient. And another free kick. I was looking at the who scored. I don't totally trust or sort of purely data-driven reports that are, let's be honest, AI generated rather than by someone who's seen it as well. But I noticed it was saying Stevenage give away too many free kicks in their own half. Well, I think we're trying to beat them with their own game here, because we're conceding a lot of set pieces. And here comes another one launched in. It's attacked by Dan Thompson and Piergiani. Good header, clear again. Fletcher, I think it was. That time, ball down the line. Marriott on his own up front, goes down and wins the free kick. Good work. As Wilden clattered into him.
Yeah, we're just a second off those second balls. The ones that are dropping. That's why we're giving so many free kicks away. We're just a second off where it's falling. We're not quite gauged the flight of things just yet. And we're just giving them a few too many free kicks away and allowing them to put it into the box. Dan Scar doing brilliantly there. Right in the middle of it. That's exactly why he's been brought in from Plymouth.
I thought there was going to be a card then for Reed as he slowed down the free kick. It's a lazy ball around the corner by George Evans, though. But he's managed to come across and win it back after a heavy touch on the flank by Reed. Stevenage have it again, knock it long. Again, O'Connell has won that header well.
But it's just a hot potato when we get it back at the moment. We're just trying to give it straight away. Not very little composure in there. Just needed somebody to just be able to take a sting out of it, make a couple of passes, which will enable those wing backs to just go and have the freedom of one side of the pitch.
Stevenage on it again. On us, Wrexham, Jim from Monticello says our commentary is a second ahead of the stream and we called the goal before it went in. Well,
we're just good.
Yeah, if you know the game, you anticipate the game, don't you? So that was a funny little pass by Dan Thompson into midfield, but he got helped out. Now Wilden's trodden on the ball, but Marriott's challenge is clumsy in the extreme. A sort of Bruno Fernandes maybe, with his foot down, and a free kick given.
He was just going at full pace, wasn't he? Marriott to close him down. Very, very difficult to slow down and stop. Just careered into Wilden, did well because his first touch was poor.
Long ball forwards by the keeper Cooper, and it's again repelled by O'Connor. Scar drives it over the top. Piergiani underneath it, heads it for distance. Back to Scar, who heads it back in the same direction once more. It's partly cleared but will fall to Barnett on the right-hand side, and he knocks an early one in. Marriott trying to get in there in front of the defender. He does well to giving it down, but he can't quite get past Thompson. Fair play to Marriott. He is that sort of tricky, awkward customer you wouldn't want to mark, because he will somehow bring something down you don't expect.
Yeah, he's relentless as well, isn't he? He's always nibbling around your ankles when the ball's played. That one from Barnett's a first-time ball right into the middle of the pitch. The back two let it bounce, which gives Marriott just that half second to go and have a nibble, try and get it, which he does, but then Thompson does enough on the second one to clear it.
Good clearance again by Scarp. Thompson launches it back. Someone for Wrexham to defend. Evans may have got a hand on that, but the referee's okay with it, and Wrexham have it again. Barnett, an early ball down the flank, straight out of play. I felt a little bit in the first half at Orient that I can see why we look to drop balls in, turn defences. Absolutely, it's normal tactic. We're not quite hitting those targets again like on Saturday, and we're better off maybe just getting that nice grooved horseshoeing of the ball around and looking for movement.
Yeah, but when Stevenage are 3 for 3 at the back, they're going to be the pressure. So we need to get it to the wide ones. They're the ones that are free, and then the 3 midfielders can make the overload with that one either side. They make 5, if you like, against the 3. And then what happens is the 2 full-backs for Stevenage, they have to come and put some sort of pressure on the ball on one of the wing-backs, which should free up your 2v2 strikers then.
Well, Wrexham have it back here. O'Connor working it wide. Reevan's got a good run inside by McLean. Plays it back to O'Connor instead. O'Connor lifts it, and that's a decent looking ball just beyond Marriott. Poor touch at the back though. Hell of a tackle on him by Dan Thompson though. Is brought down nicely. But a great tackle, and now here is Stevenage at the other end, 4 on 4. It's driven in, and a good block. O'Connor get to his feet well. And spins behind for a corner, but again, threat from Roberts coming down the right.
Well, it's the counter-attack, isn't it? They've now scored, so Wrexham have to open up a little bit more. But I thought Marriott just had a chance to shoot. Really good tackle by Thompson, and then straight away they're on the attack. The front 4, they're off and running. Roberts, Reed, they're all off it, and then cut inside by Roberts. Really good block by O'Connor. He's the one he's trying to show him down the line, but lets him go inside, but sorts his feet out well enough to get the block in.
25th minute, corner comes in near post. Good header, clear that by Dobson, and the ball goes out eventually for a throw to Stevenage, 40 yards out. Wrexham just needing to get a bit more of a grip on the ball here, just needing to test. We have tested the centre-backs on occasions and they've come through it well, but we need to keep that intensity going, as still the Wrexham fans keep going, singing Joey. Butler's in no rush here to take this. And the ref, in fact, is he going to book him? No, he's warning him. No, he is booking him. Okay. Bit early in a match to book a bloke for time wasting. I don't think he's really time wasting as such.
Yeah, he made a gesture though, the ref, to him to say, I think he's mentioned it 2 or 3 times to him to hurry up.
Fair enough then. Throw in taken. Again, a big, powerful header out by Scar. Wrexham win it back in midfield. Dobson back to O'Connor, who's hurried by Reed. Scar tries an ambitious pass. It doesn't work. Didn't really mind that though. If he had got it, about a yard less on it, it could have sent Reevan down the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's Thompson again, going back to Piagiani. Butler on the left. Barnett hairs up to try and put pressure on him. It's fed forwards. Heavy touch in midfield by Stevenage, but they pick her up and it's worked down the line by King. Put out a play for another throw to Stevenage, 35 yards out.
Well, Reed's been the tricky one for me. He's not playing as a normal wide left, if you like. He's the one that's tucking in just slightly inside of Barnett and giving O'Connell a few issues on transition, because he's free in there, and it does O'Connell go in and leave Dan Scar 1-for-1.
As O'Connor goes down the line looking for McLean, 2 players against him, and it's controlled nicely by Lewis Thompson. A good ball as well to the feet of Roberts. He tried a little turn, didn't work. Throw to Wrexham on the halfway line. O'Connor with the ball in his hands, throws down the line. Fletcher wins another header. Wilden just beats Reevan to us on the corner of the box. Ball bounces off George Evans, and now he's having to defend, and he does put enough pressure on to get a throw taken quickly. He is now Scar. O'Connor once more, deep in his own half. His clearance is blocked. Scar quick to get ahead to it. Dobson can't get to the loose ball though. And the ball is picked up by Butler on the halfway line, left-hand side. Again, Stevenage happy to go back all the way to Cooper. And Cooper plays a ball out to the left-hand side. Butler. It's closed down quickly, throw into Stevenage on the halfway line. Dobson thought it was his decision. Dobson looked a little tired in the latter stages, I thought, of the Orient game, and I wondered if a rotation might be coming up for him, if I'm honest. The throw-in's taken out for another throw to Stevenage in the halfway line.
We haven't seen him yet, really, have we?
No.
We haven't got on the ball as much as he normally does, break stuff up. I thought they might just swap him over, because it is Evans that's the pivot. They could just swap him over and put Evans that side and see how he goes.
Stevenage circulate it round at the back. Reven will put pressure on Wilden on the corner of the box, and he goes long. Scar, that's good defending, attacks the ball, gets there ahead of Young, and then McLean feeds it backwards to O'Connell. Sort of pass that puts O'Connell in two minds, whether to take a touch and go forwards or play it back. He goes backwards to Okonkwo, and his clearance only picks up Butler, who has time to bring it down and start to go at Barnett before squaring it to King. Wrexham forced the back pass. And again, Cooper has got a run by Wilden, and he'll have another aerial battle against Reven. Well done, Reven. Wins it with his shoulder. Ball knocked down the line. Roberts can't keep it in.
Well, I think Barnett's having trouble here. He doesn't know whether to go and press Butler, who's the left back, or stay and help O'Connell with Reed playing just inside the pitch. Because if Barnett goes, then the ball just down the side puts Reed with 1-on-1 against O'Connell. But I think he's just got the way that Wrexham play. He's got to go and put pressure on the ball and hope that the three shuffle round and O'Connell becomes sort of the right back, if you like, and the two other centre halves become the proper centre halves. Because I think no pressure on the ball, he can just travel and do what he wants with it.
There was some sort of disturbance. Well, certainly the fans were making a lot of noise, Stevenage fans. I don't know what it was about exactly. Long ball forwards. Fletcher takes well in his chest, tries to flick the through ball. But Thompson did really well, stuck to him and got the block in. Nathan Thompson now is a centre-back. And the ball's again back to Cooper. It's driven long over the top. It was a sort of disturbance in the crowd that you get when there's a Wrexham fan suddenly pops up in the Stevenage end and makes a noise. I don't know if that was the case.
Or Rockin' Robbins on a bike.
Ah, yes. Oh, my word. The greatest moment in any Wrexham fan's life. Never mind beating
It cropped up in conversation the other day, actually. Yeah. Madness.
O'Connor lifts it long. Nathan Thompson heads it clear. O'Connor does well to get there. It's crowded in midfield. Reven up against two men, goes to ground. No foul given. Wilden will have to go backwards. And it's Nathan Thompson who can bring the ball forwards now from deep in his own half. 1-0 to Stevenage, 31st minute. Ball knocked over the top, and Scar again wins that. Reven has got a ball onto O'Connor. O'Connor punches it forwards but gives it away. And it's laid off, and Wrexham this time putting a bit of pressure on the centre-backs. Pijani's got enough time, though, to work it wide, and Wrexham will have to defend the ball in, which O'Connell seemed to push his man. Ref says it's not a foul, and now here's Reven. He switches behind Barnett, and so now he's put under pressure by Butler, who drives it forwards. That's a decent pass, well taken by Fletcher. He's seen Reven in space on the left. Wrexham now with Reven has time to measure this, feeds it in behind the defence instead. It's driven in, and it's a corner. Good sharp break again. Good defending in the box, but last-ditch defending.
Double switch of play, though, so Reven to Barnett then into Fletcher, who's able to turn and then play Reven again. That switch of play, they can't go one way and then the other quick enough to create and shut down the space. Really good play. Nice slide ball in for McLean. I thought he went down really early to block. I thought McLean, if he had any, could have chopped back maybe. It's all quite easy from here, isn't it? But still, we've got a corner.
So O'Connor swings it into the far post, headed away well. And now, as the bench urge Stevenage out, it'll go anyway for a throw, about 35-40 yards out. There's a Stevenage fan behind the goal on the left-hand side of the stand, or they just stopped it now, who had their torch on their phone. You know that effect when you get lots of people moving their torches? It was just one person. Wasn't the same. And here we are, as Stevenage are able to break. That's a terrific, pacey burst down the left-hand side, and in the end, Young is stopped by a combination of two defenders. Barnett over the top, no one really there for that, and it's headed calmly into midfield by Piergianni. Phillips picks her up, works it forwards. Stevenage fans are really starting to warm to this now. 12 minutes short of half-time, a goal up, and deservedly so. Piergianni works out wide. Of course, they beat Charlton last Saturday, which is a good result against a side that expects to be in a promotion conversation. As Cooper is put under a bit of pressure. It's a terrible clearance now. Can Wrexham profit? And is that a foul? It is not. Well, the poor clearance straight to Fletcher. Marriott forced the error, so Fletcher couldn't play it forwards because he was offside. He tried to cut inside. He felt he was body checked. Defender felt that it was a fair challenge, and
well, the referee was right on it, wasn't it? That was what you say. He was right next to it. I thought Fletcher had great first touch, and then he flicked it like literally around him to go round him. I think the ref's saying he's in the way. He can't move anything. He can't do anything about it. But for me, it still stopped him from going where he wanted to go. So normally they're given, aren't they?
Yeah. Sometimes not when that player's the last defender, though, and the referee thinks about the consequences. Fletcher and he have had a long conversation there before this throw-in, conceded by a good tackle from McLean is taken, and here neat little pass forwards. Good movement. This Roberts has gone narrow. It's worked out wide. Wilderness up there chasing it with Reven again, has chased him well. Evans with a little fade flick that doesn't quite come off. The layoff though is inaccurate by Young, well read by Dobson. And here now is O'Connor drilling it to the halfway line. Time for it to be chested down by Phillips, and Stevenage have it back. Too often Wrexham knocking long balls from the back into midfield that are getting lost. As good interception by O'Connell, throw to Stevenage.
Well, we've worked so hard to get the ball back there. It's rolled back to O'Connor. Everybody just sits a little bit, so the pass to Reven is on just to make two passes. Reven can go into McLean, and then you can do whatever you want. Even if it goes back to O'Connor, it's just taken the sting out of the situation. Instead, we just give it back, and then Stevenage are back on the attack.
Here they are now then. Nathan Thompson drilling it down the right again. That's ambitious, but it's accurate, and it's a real scrap here. O'Connor against Young. He thinks it's a corner. It's a goal kick. O'Connor did well again to stick with him, but a lovely pass around the corner.
Well, that's what I was speaking about with Barnett unsure, because Reven is going. He's the one that's going up to Wilding or Thompson and trying to put them under a bit of pressure to play that ball. Really nice ball down the channel, and it's up to O'Connor to be goal side, ball side of the man running into that channel to then clear your danger, which he does. He gets away with it a little bit because he's just wrong side to start with, but he's still able to get the right side and defend it 1v1.
O'Connor back to Okonkwo, doesn't get hold of that kick, but Evans underneath it, misses it completely. McLean comes in to help out. Dobson now on the edge of his area, put under pressure. It goes back to Okonkwo. The Stevenage fans trying to put him off. Evans, for me, isn't having the happiest time of it in the middle of the pitch. The best work for me he's done has been when he's recovered from his own mistake. As Fletcher gets a free kick, the referee feels that Lewis Thompson made it back for him.
Yeah, he's giving him that because he didn't get the other one.
Yeah.
Refs are so readable.
Two wrongs make a right, don't they?
Yeah, definitely in this game.
Taken short. Ref says, not yet, mate. And so Scar will take this. The referee says take it like 5 yards further back, which reminds me of a Brighton free kick at the racecourse that was taken from the wrong place. The ref didn't do anything about. Not that I bear grudges from 14 years ago, but I do. So finally it's O'Connor on this free kick on the halfway line, stands it up on the right flank. Fletcher tries to attack it. Piergianni gets it clear. It's brought down by Evans, who brings O'Connor into play. 30 yards out left-hand side. Still big players up there. He swings a nasty-looking ball then, but Thompson is underneath that to bring it clear. Lovely take on the left flank by McLean, and he's won a throw-in. Level the edge of the box. We've not managed to sustain these little spells of pressure, though. They've happened occasionally. but not enough. It's going to be Reven to take the throw rather than George Evans' longish throw. There's a lovely flick to him by McLean. Reven now, chance to cross, drills it in the goal mouth. Shot on the turn is blocked well. Marriott again, 6 yards out. And there'll be a yellow card for Tom O'Connor, who tripped his man when Stevenage tried to break away. No complaints about that. But yeah, half chance for Marriott. A nice build-up play again.
Yeah, really good. Seb Revan with a little quick throw. McLean with a great little touch over the top of his head. And he's in. A good touch, gets his eyes up. Sees Marriott make that run to the near post. Marriott gets his shot off, but a good, really good block. You can see why Stevenage don't concede many goals. They do throw bodies in. They're really compact as a back four. And they're definitely putting their bodies on the line to keep that ball out of the net.
Yeah, we've conceded to them. They've been letting 5 all season, so we've got to find a way around their defence. Ball not long. Another good header by O'Connell. It's helped on by Marriott. McLean's chasing after that. He had no chance of getting there. But fair play to him for at least showing a bit of energy. He's now dropped back into position. Stevenage with a throw 15 yards short of the halfway line. And it's thrown down the line. Wrexham get the decision, throw into Wrexham in their own half. Some scrapping away though under pressure. Dobson's a well to come out with the ball, feeds it to the half end. Fletcher turns nicely, but it was well read. Good challenge on him by King. Wrexham scurrying to try and put pressure on the ball, but there's a chance of a breakaway now down the left hand side, and once again Stevenage carrying it well. A lunging tackle comes in, but I don't think Dobson made contact with the player, and then there's some stuff off the ball. The referee looked as if he saw that. Wrexham player down injured as Reven breaks down the left.
2 players down.
Oh yeah. Reven then goes down and throw into Stevenage, and well, shame we haven't got the stream up here to be able to see what actually happened there. One of them's off the ball.
Well, Fletcher looks like he's in real pain.
Well, he was definitely an off the ball incident, wasn't it? The ball's behind him, he tried to make a run and he's gone down in midfield. And the other player, trying to see whether it's Barnett, perhaps. Wish I had those glasses, tell you.
Well, I've not got mine on and I can't tell.
I'm struggling to spot Barnett anywhere else.
No, he's there.
Oh,
Barnett's
he is?
there,
yeah.
Dobson? See that? No, he's there.
Dobson's in the middle as well, yeah.
Oh, it's Evans.
It's not.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, we couldn't really see properly. It was the first one on Fletcher was coming together off the ball. The ref seemed to see that and gesture, and he hasn't taken any action, so you'd assume he thought it was just a coming together.
It was just a scrappy bit of play, wasn't it? The ball was changing hands really quickly, and then I think the referee did really well on one because the Stevenage player went down. There was nobody really near him to bring him down. He played play on, and then I think Fletcher's took the one. Looks like it's both of them are both knee.
Yeah, Stevenage fans are screaming for a free kick because Dobson sort of stepped into a challenge, but you could see square on from here. He didn't actually make contact. He fell short of it, so pulled out of it. And it was after that Wrexham players started hitting the deck. So look on Ask Wrexham. Otherwise, I'll make my rant about how Stevenage changed their name and no one told me, which frankly I'm annoyed about. I only noticed on Saturday coming back from Orient that they've dropped the borough. They did it in 2010, so I'm not that sharp, am I?
Well, I didn't know that now.
Oh right, there you go. I feel better now. Yeah. Since 20.
Okay.
They dropped the borough in Stevenage, but well, that was my next question, and it seems the only reason was to commemorate going to the Football League. We'll change our name, which seems a bit odd. I mean, they founded in 1976, so you could argue the tradition's not that big a deal for them, but nonetheless, seems a bit of a flimsy reason, to be honest. So I hadn't noticed, and I'm not happy that neither of us were informed to potentially exercise our football veto. Right, Fletcher's limping across the pitch.
So's Evans.
Yep, absolutely. It's a tragic race.
It's a limp off.
Yes. And well, Fletcher looks very uncomfortable. And So does Evans, yeah. True enough. See if anyone in Wrexham has commented and saw what happened. Jarvis says one of their players fell on Evans, who got his leg stuck underneath him. And another one smashed Fletcher from behind off the ball.
Okay.
So Graham Jones saying, I see the old problem with not winning second balls. Play out from the back, we know we can do it. But they both look like they want to come back on.
I think Fletcher's just had a little look at a screen down inside the dugout just to have a look to see what. Well, we're playing with 8, 9, aren't we?
Yeah, 9 now. Yeah, they both have to stay off for the 30 seconds. So we have to dig in here for this peculiar sort of power play. Ball played the edge of our area, well covered by Dobson. So at the moment, yeah, as the Wrexham fans are really unhappy about this. Barnett's coming across, the ball's overhit, and that allows the two players to come back on. That was, yeah, I mean, I think it's a farcical rule, the 30-second rule.
Absolutely ridiculous. And also going off the pitch.
Yeah.
They've not done anything wrong.
Absolutely.
They've been mullered by one of the Stevenage players. Yeah. He's been laid on by one of the Stevenage players, and they both have to go off the pitch to get the treatment that they've already had.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And they're down. Yeah. They are worse off as a team for it.
Exactly so. Long ball forwards, O'Connor intersects, launches a long one. There's Nathan Thompson there to clear. O'Connor takes it away. McLean goes in with a challenge. That looks like a Wrexham ball. It is on the halfway line. Going back to that 30-second thing as well, in a time when I feel referees' authorities really been worn at and worn away, why can't you just let a referee have the judgment to say, he's play acting, stay off for 30 seconds, or that was clearly, those two clearly are not play acting, they've limped off the pitch, come straight back on when you're ready.
Yeah. I just take out that going off the pitch. I just don't get it. If it's just a knock like that and they've got to come, right, you're all right, let's crack on. If they're wasting time, I get it. You know, you've got to take. But
remember the 94 World Cup? They brought in, sorry, I remember these stupid things. That was when they brought in those trolleys to bring the players on. Now, they did look daft. But, as I said, 4 minutes added on. But it was also because the habit then was more, you have to get off the pitch to be treated, whereas now people get treated on the pitch. So the rules have created their own problems. Ouch, Evans has hurt himself and he's signalling to come off here. He landed heavily on his ankle as McLean knocks it over the top. Too strong for Marius. Yeah, Evans immediately signalled that he was finished.
Well, Fletcher's hobbling as well. It's not looking good for both.
Well, Evans doesn't make it to half-time to see if he can be helped out.
That's
clearly.
Bad luck. Really bad luck.
Absolutely.
Just get yourself back fit.
Yeah.
Work your way back into the team. First half, you get an injury and you're coming off.
Well, we were talking about possibly putting Brunt, I beg your pardon, putting
Dobson back in.
We're going to get
Cannon, it looks like
doesn't surely.
Yep.
Yeah, Cannon and Lee, that great double act from the 70s, are on the bench.
Yeah, which would you do? Who would you do? Would you put Lee on or Cannon on?
I was thinking about them as a double act and trying to work out whether it was Peters and Lee or Cannon and Ball. I'm thinking, in terms of balance, McLean on the left makes sense, and he's worked well with Reven. And Cannon has got a bit of tenacity, which might be useful in a midfield scrap like this. Although I can also see the logic of Lee, because he's got that ability to just play that pass or get that shot off. But I think I'd go Cannon at this point of the game. No need to panic and rush into things. It's 1-0 with a half of football left.
OK, we've not seen, so I'll go. Oh, you go Cannon. Yeah, good. You've got it right.
Hey.
I was going to go Cannon all day long.
Yeah, I was just being diplomatic anyway, considering both sides.
It is balanced, isn't it? It's McLean on the left side.
Andy Cannon, I noticed there, has got one of those undershirts, and it matches a gold kit, and I want to know if he's got 3 for each kit we've got now.
Well, I think you have to. You're not allowed to have a different colour, are you?
Right.
You have to have the same colour as your kit. If you're going with, they would have given them from. There'd be Macron, I would have thought, and they'll be given to you with the kit to match up the same colours. That doesn't look good for Evans. He's hobbling off down the tunnel.
Just back from injury, of course, and off he goes. So 4 minutes of added time, but most of it has been that substitution as Evans was looked at again and then gets off the pitch. Stevenage started off. Ball bowled out to Butler. Marriott, fair play, really sprinting hard to try and get there. Had no real chance of doing so, but he's put pressure on Butler, who puts out for a goal kick to Wrexham.
I'd be surprised if we saw Fletcher in the second half as well, the way he's meandering around. He's just got a bit of a limp on. Maybe the half-time might be at the right time for him. Get him in a bit of treatment.
Palmer, of course, on the bench as an obvious replacement. As they've got 1 minute of added time, but he's surely going to have more, like 3 more. Okonkwo, long kick. Let's see how Fletcher can fare in the air. It doesn't come to him in the end. And that's a lovely little piece of skill on the right-hand side as the ball is fed over to Young. The return pass is a clever one, and it's helped on again to the edge of the box. Phillips on once more, and the shot is over. It was a lovely move until the ball finally was worked out to the left-hand side, and there was no finish from King, but great breakaway. He's just sliced through us, isn't there? Yeah,
it's Robertson, Phillips, and then into Reed. You think Reed's going to take the shot, but a lovely little reverse pass to King. But King just steps onto it, right-footed, just hit the target. You're only 16, 18 yards out. He just gets underneath it, looking for that top corner. Puts it over the bar, thankfully for Wrexham.
Okonkwo with the kick. It's then headed away comfortably by Lee Thompson, and Roberts inaccurately tries to find him. Here's Fletcher, helps it on nicely. Lots of bodies around the ball. Reevan plays a testing pass, but Stevenage can deal with it. Good cover to run it back to the keeper by Piergianni.
They just look a lot more fluid than Wrexham. Stevenage, they sort of know when a pass goes in, it's set through for the next runner. Wrexham really haven't got going with any of their passing. It's not really stuck up top. Stevenage defended very well. Just not been able to get out with a pass. It's definitely the wing backs that are the out ball. And we've seen it when it did get switched from one to the other. We had a lot of joy.
Here's Reevan driving it to the halfway, and Wilden knocks it back. No nonsense. Scar just pushes Young away, so he can't challenge for it. And O'Connell, well, there's an offside flag, luckily for Wrexham, because there was a break into the box then, which looked threatening, but the flag was up.
We're just not being able to bring the ball down and play. That they're not giving us any time at all in that central midfield. Those second balls we're not picking up with ease. There's always a competition in there, and we're not be able to play out, get it down and make a couple of passes.
You say I'm ahead of the game. I've just looked over my shoulder, and the leader's Rich Williams has got his tweet for half-time, 1-0 for Stevenage. So I must be buffering, as Fletcher gets it really well. But Wrexham can't keep it in. It's a goal kick. And let's see if Rich is right, because if I know referees, they'll blow when the goal kick's taken.
He's got his cursor ready to change it if needed, though.
Oh, crap. It's a draft.
To change it to 2.
It's a draft. Hey, hang on. Match abandoned, I'd like to say at the moment, to be honest. Why couldn't it keep raining? Anyway, long goal kick. Referee doesn't blow. And so Connor underneath it as well to get a head onto that. Dobson helps it on. Cannon and McLean scrapping away in the middle of the pitch. And then they don't win the ball, but it's put out of play. And that is half-time. And the Stevenage fans are standing to applaud that. They're up against the team that are second in the table. They've come at us, and they're very good value for that 1-goal lead, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been much brighter for me in that first half. Right on second balls, look a lot more fluid when they go into the final third as well. They've got good runners, good pace, and they've countered really well on Wrexham when Wrexham have managed to get into that final third. But Wrexham really haven't been at the races as they would have liked to, I'm sure. But they'll be looking to get back in there. 1-0 down, regroup and come out with all guns blazing, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough first half, but Parkinson is good at getting his ideas across and making those little tinkers at half-time that can change things, and we can only hope that's what he's able to do. On to more important business. Firstly, I've just realised I meant to start off doing this, and then I got carried away. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
The big 5-0, on Saturday. Yeah. So I had a fun-filled day of kids football in the morning,
yay,
kids party in the afternoon, and then I did manage to get out for a meal with some friends in the evening. But I think that's as good as it gets, isn't it, when you're our age?
Absolutely.
Our age, is that right? Is that fair?
55 I am, I'm afraid.
That's good.
Yeah, so so congratulations for that. Now we did, in the commentary at the half-time, pass our best wishes to you. But I also mentioned something, so people listening then will be aware what I'm about to say. A weird thing happened last week. I went back for a couple of days to work in the school I worked in, helping them out with some. Speaking of listening moderation, I am an exciting man with an exciting life. And I went in, obviously I can wear whatever I want, and I wore the garment which I'd always sworn I would not wear while commentating with you, which is my Andy Morrell t-shirt, right?
Okay.
And I went in with it. And
is there such a thing?
There is such a thing. I'm actually, I'll reveal it in a second if you want, yeah. Because I have worn it today. The thing is that I've never had such a reaction to what I was wearing in my life. And I'm a drag artist at the weekend. So I went in, and everyone was, genuinely, love that shirt. Oh, it's a great shirt. That's a great shirt. Now, our IT technician did. She has no interest in football, so she didn't know who was on it. The kids are all saying, that's brilliant. But non-football fans were. Wrexham fans, all right, fair enough. But all these non-footballing kids were. Yep. And one of them walked up. I was a little confused first. Pointed at it, and this is probably the point where I should reveal it for you. Visual stuff always works well on audio commentary, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm wearing my lovely Andy Morrell t-shirt, all right? And a lad walks up to me and goes, "Oh, awesome, Abraham Lincoln."
Really?
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I've been called some names in my time, but that is definitely not one.
I can't see it, but I like it.
Oh, that's 98. Oh, you've just sent shivers down the spine as well.
Sorry.
98 points.
I wasn't going to mention as well that, Jake Kasky-Forster was on the books for them and he scored against us in that Brighton game, didn't he? That Brighton game really fixed in my head.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
I should really mention your chip, though, shouldn't I, then, in that case, that unbelievable goal.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen very often outside the box, so that's quite memorable for me. Far too far away.
Bit like Mia Roberts' 45-yarder.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I was too tired to get any closer, I think, so that's why you shoot from that range. When you
It was, for those of you who haven't seen it, an outrageously brilliant goal, and Andy's being modest. But Abraham Lincoln, I just didn't expect it, so I have broken my rule and worn this t-shirt now. I'm very happy with myself. So, I'm having a look on Ask Wrexham. Let's have a little look at what other people might have said. While I look, I also mentioned last Sunday that I was concerned that there was a family. Some people are starting to put Halloween decorations out now, and it was September then, and that feels like it's a month early. That's a bit dubious. And there's a family round the corner from us who've had the decorations out for a month already, and I figured they must be Satanists. That was my logic on Saturday. But driving to the ground today, I saw a house by 9 acre. It had a massive sheet, almost the size of the house, hanging in front of it. Looked like it was bloodstained with help written on it. And then on the actual front gate, a similar smaller thing saying "stay out," which I thought was an inconsistent logic, firstly, I've got to say.
It's not a consistent message, is it?
But I generally started to slow down thinking, what's happened there? And it's like, okay, it's a fact, but it's only the 1st of October. You can't do that this early.
As long as it's not Christmas decorations.
Or putting those up for Christmas would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'd put the wind up Santa. Now, Beefy QP Wrexham, a legendary Ask Wrexham correspondent, says, "Are my glasses on my head? I'm slapping my head. Nothing's happening." No. Sorry. It's not my fault. What else do we have on Ask Wrexham? That's that's true. Kurt Bennett quite rightly points out that the seating in the stands says Borough. So they've changed their name, but their seats must be 15 years old.
The seats. It's too expensive.
So I'm very, very happy to see that. I thought I was going crazy. Yeah, like I said, that I'd really like to see Root play in the Fletcher because it sounded like it wasn't great. The challenge on him from what people had said.
Well, I'm surprised I've not seen Palmer going through a little bit more of a rugged half-time warm-up. That just looks like they're going to be as a group, so there is no move to maybe get him on.
Yeah. Barcode Mark on this saying that maybe, although they've been rested, Cannon and Palmer may be needed anyway. Well, the first one's come on since he sent that message. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's Lee as well. The reason that you give somebody a rest, yes, it is bodily, they need the rest physically, but also mentally. They have been going at it since America for relentless week. The pressures and the training and your levels and standards you have to maintain is really difficult. And just a drop in that, if you get taken out the team, you have to take it as it is a freshen up of your eyes, if you like, so that you see different things. You're not so much pressured to stay in the team. You can just relax, rest a little bit, and then even if it's 20 minutes, or 45, if it's Cannon who's come on, do you know what I mean? Or Elliot Lee's going to come on, maybe Palmer, maybe 45. It's still that they've just got to relax for that 45 minutes and see what's going on, and they can just take stock a little bit, and it's not so a stressed, pressurised situation that they're going into, if that makes sense. And so it just gives that mental rest as well, if that's really badly explained.
Sounded logical to me. And it's interesting as well that, the old idea, if you can double up your squad, you've got two options, and that sort of squad building idea. Players are strikingly sort of similar in a way. I'm not saying they don't have other facets, but you look at midfield, it's Evans, Dobson, quite similar profiles really. On the right hand side, Rathbone, Jones, Cannon, again, there's differences, but they all can do that role, if you will, and it's nicely, carefully worked out, which means that when a player maybe just needs that little freshening up of focus, that you've got a player who's been working, doing exactly that role in training all the time, rather than a more sort of free form approach, if you will.
Yes, and that's why your recruitment is so important when you go and get players, and when you're doing your shape on a Thursday or a Wednesday, whatever your match prep is, that they are solely looking at the position that they play or the two positions that they can play, and knowing the jobs that you're doing in those both positions.
It's it's fascinating to me, and I'm not going to try and pretend that sort of like winning the Spanish league with Rayo Vallecano on Football Manager qualifies me for anything. Although, to be fair, I got Gini Wijnaldum in the next year as well. I'm a good negotiator, but you should have got me onto Piagiani. I'd have talked him into it. But they have in the past, and I'm not going to put you in the awkward situation of criticising people in your business, but there have in the past been some squads where you look at it and think, how can this be? When, for example, a manager says on the first day of the season, I was going to play 3 at the back this season, but one of my centre-backs is suspended, so I'm not going to. We only had 3 centre-backs in the squad. You sort of think, that's more off the top of your head. That same manager brought in 2 first-choice goalkeepers on a very, very tight budget, and then had players in other areas where it was very thin. And you just think, this is more of a scattergun. Oh, I'll get him and him. And it like I say, I like Parkinson's methodical approach, to be honest.
Well, it helps when you've got decent funds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I found recruitment managing the hardest part. Now, these guys here, they've got recruitment teams, and I was just thinking how nice it would have been for somebody to turn in on a Monday morning and go, right, well, I've got these 4 players available. They were really good. What do you fancy? Do you look at? It was us that were doing that on a Sunday, going through videos and DVDs and stuff, and it was very, very difficult because you were doing everything in those days, because that's what you had to do to get by. But these days they've got recruitment departments, you've got Y-Scout, you've got all sorts on the internet that you can watch players for. But you do, as a manager, you live and die by the recruitment that you bring in, because if you are able to bring in players that go above and beyond what you expect of them, you will succeed as a team. If you bring in players that they don't quite manage up to, I would just want my players to play a 7 out of 10 every week. If they could do that as I expected, why I brought them in, the reason I brought them in, then I'd be happy. But a lot drop a little bit lower than that even, and then you're in trouble, especially when you've got a thin squad as it is.
But to be fair to you, you did better with the small budgets than the person I'm talking about. But I'm not going to name that person.
Take that.
To be frank, everyone who's listening to any of my commentaries knows exactly who I'm talking about. So
I thought so.
Yeah. So anyway, 1-0 down here, Wrexham, and needing to bounce back. I mean, people often at this point start talking about making more and more changes. I don't think we're anywhere near that situation, it's 1-0 for goodness sake. Let's see how the players can sort it out for themselves. But having said that, Evans going off is a blow as well, because it just limits your substitution windows and your scope to make alterations.
Yeah, to go and try and get back in the game or win the game. You've already made a substitution. For me, the worry for me looking at that first half is the amount of second balls that we've missed. Yeah. Compared to how many that Stevenage have won. They've been first to the ball. They've been the ones that have taken those 50-50s and come away with them. Now, I was so impressed with those first 5-6 games of how hard this group worked as a team and where they were at. And they were on second balls, they were on first balls, they were everywhere. The front two were working so hard. The last couple of games have just, for my eyes anyway, just seen a little drop off in that intensity about the way that they've gone about it. Yeah. Not necessarily as an individual, but as a group. And then you find that you're not winning, picking up those second balls. You're not on top. You're not dominating play. And then you're suddenly having to make saves, make blocks that they weren't doing in those first 3 or 4 games because we were more on the front foot. So that would be my message to the group is go out there and get right on the front foot, but not just the front two, but follow them in. And we're going, and you 3 at the back, you win your duels at the back, and we'll win those second balls. If we get more second balls than them, we will score today.
Yeah. Well, the teams are back out. And let's see how Wrexham, kicking towards their support, who have been terrific, will fare. The way end looks about 80-odd% full, maybe, and it's a good number on a Tuesday night when the weather is bad.
A long way, and after Saturday as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As I must be honest, I was bluffing a little bit because the Wi-Fi didn't seem to work here. I might have got coverage back so I can get back onto the Ask Wrexham questions. But I've got to say thank you for getting me through half-time, Andy, because I did tweet a video before the match. There's executive boxes are right behind us. And they were all in there eating pie. And I was there at the window like it was a little Victorian urchin at Christmas. As tragic it was. There's this big nose smudge all over the glass behind me. Right, again, the referee's going to make us play statues for a bit before we actually get underway. And it's Stevenage making a noise as they get ready to see things start up once more.
Well, I think Parky will have a look at Fletcher first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
See how he is. Maybe no rash decision at half-time. Just go on then, give him a bit of treatment, strapped up maybe, I don't know. But go on, see how you go. We don't want to change too much too soon. Is this geezer? Why is the ref waiting now?
I don't know, is he looking for me glasses? I have no idea. I must say, on Ask Wrexham, Kelly said they're enjoying your coaching wisdom today. Well,
thank you.
To be fair, I mean, until we had all the money come into this club, the man next to me had all the managerial records for the club. I promise you. So he kind of knows what he's talking about. As Wrexham finally restart, long ball forwards, Fletcher gets up and doesn't win it, but doesn't hobble away afterwards. And now here's another moment of danger straight away for Wrexham. A great turn down the middle, and luckily for Wrexham, well, Scar did well to get an interception. Ball ricochets into the box again, and O'Connell had to be alert to get rid of it. Fletcher again jumps, doesn't make it. Marriott tries to back into Piergianni, creates a loose ball. Reevan's got it on the left-hand side. He's held up, but he's fed it inside nicely. And now it's McLean trying to drive forwards. He stumbles, and Stevenage hack it away. Well, Wrexham trying to get at Stevenage's penalty area. That's good to see. Dobson fixing it on to O'Connell. Dobson again in space in the centre circle. He tries to feed it in between the lines for Cannon. It gets charged down, and it's quickly helped on intelligently by Phillips. But Stevenage give it away to a groan from their fans. And a ball over the top is chased by Fletcher. He's brought it down brilliantly, left side the box. Steps over it to try and get a turn in and feeds it back. Chance for a cross from McLean. Sweeps it in. And it's cleared. Beg your pardon, it's Marius. Shouldn't be able to mix those two up who did so well on the left side of the box. That's worrying. I did lose my glasses, as I may have mentioned. Scar on the halfway line. Knocks it over the top. Reevan looks offside. But he's managed to get a foot in, throw into Stevenage in their own half. It's a bit more like it.
Yeah, they were definitely more on the front foot. I thought that Scar could have played it wide out here to Barnett, but he played it long. Great run by Marriott, a really good first touch as well. And then he sets McLean. Just a lot more eager, a lot more intensity in the Wrexham players.
See if they can sustain this as the ball's thrown down the line by Wilden, headed back where it came from. Another throw in pretty much the same spot, about 30 yards out from the Stevenage goal on the right.
And we had Dobson as well in there. In that passage of play, he tried to, he forced it, trying to get it into Fletcher's feet, but Cannon was in a really good position to receive it off Fletcher had the pass gone in, and I didn't see any of that in the first half. It's a really positive forward pass to try something.
Wrexham win it back and knock it over the top. This time it'll go out for a throw about 20 yards out. Just overhit, trying to put over the top for Fletcher, but it's more encouraging. Stevenage suddenly having to work to retain the ball. It's thrown down the line by Wilden, and Wrexham battling to win it back. Do so. McLean lays her off. Reven drilling it into the feet of Marriott. Good touch by Fletcher. Helps her on. McLean break down left. No one in the box for him, so he'll have to hold on to the ball. Reven feeding it into midfield. Dobson keeps the ball moving to the right as Wrexham tried to stretch Stevenage. O'Connell, excellent ball between the lines. Cannon turns, helps it to Barnett. Barnett's got 2 men to beat. He goes past one, and then he's pulled to the floor, surely, yeah. Well, Butler just grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and dumped him on the floor.
So much better, though, from Wrexham, isn't it? Couple of passes, shift the ball really quickly and get it to Barnett, and then Cannon on the half turn in that pocket.
As Dobson sweeps a testing ball over, Wilden just got the top of his head to it, or Reven would have been back round the back of the fence. Throw-in, taken quickly by Reven. O'Connor joining in. His pass back to Scar, forced him to knock it over the top. It wasn't the best ball, that really. He's a bit hurried, and he's put it through for the goal kick.
Yeah, just a bit soft, wasn't it, to him? If he had punched it back to him, he was able to have a touch and then move it to O'Connell, but because of its slow pace, he's had to just come onto it and put it in the channel.
Goal kick, and you can understand why Cooper's not in a huge rush to take it, because we've had 3 minutes of Wrexham pressure here at the start of the second half. Cooper hits it right-footed down the flank, and it's well kept in fact, by Wilden, but Wrexham claim it back again and are really now noticeably picking up those second balls. As Barnett is cut off, diligent work by King in midfield. Squares it to Dobson, those getting lots more touches already, and he sweeps a good early ball to Reven. Awkward take as it bounces up at him, but he brings it down well. McLean squares it. Dobson again is following his passes in and linking things up, and Wrexham suddenly are moving the ball around fluently. And Stevenage found themselves on a different game. Tremendous ball by O'Connell into the second hole. Cannon can't get past this man, but he finds Barnett, level the edge of the area. Barnett just shifts it cutely from foot to foot. Wrexham have 3 men in there. Lovely little layoff by O'Connell. Cannon, nice pass back. O'Connell dummies it. Barnett keeps it in by the corner flag. O'Connell still in support. O'Connell doing his best Max Cleworth impersonation here. This is nice. The trio working well. O'Connell then tries a bit of fancy footwork, and the throw-in, he just rolled it off the pitch in the end.
Yeah, good play though.
Yeah.
Good play. Little triangles on this outside. It's Cannon and Barnett again. Playing really well. Know each other's game to a T. O'Connell stepping in. Just got a little bit too much pressure on it. A couple, maybe too many touches. But he's looking for that pass then. As the three have come out, he's looking for that one rolled into feet. Both strikers staying in the box. I think more off the back of maybe Barnett crossing it into there, but just not able to get a final ball.
Yeah, he was unhappy that a fourth player hadn't joined in to make the overload, I think, by the looks of his gestures afterwards. As Stevenage now with the throw on the halfway line. Thrown down the line by Butler. O'Connell looks to be fouled. He is. Free kick to Wrexham in the right back position. Taken very quickly. Good ball by Dobson. Reven's got space. Driving down the left-hand side. Stevenage have got men back, mind. Reven in the end has to go back to McLean, but just quick thinking here. Everything looks sharper here.
Well, it was taken from the wrong place as well. Blatantly wrong place.
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely.
Let's not worry about that. Yeah, just so much more intent in their play. A bit of dynamism, I suppose, in their play. Just moving the ball a lot quicker.
That's a good ball down the left for Marriott to try and get to. Thompson has to come across and stretch and head it out of play. Throw to Wrexham 15 yards out. We haven't got George Evans' semi-Tozer throw, but instead Wrexham got Reven to propel the ball in. Marriott lurking in the box. McLean offers short. Stevenage complaining about time wasting. You're not going to get put for time wasting when you're losing. Reven wins it back and is tripped, and the ref gives a goal kick. Far side the pitch from us, okay, but it looked like he had contact made on him.
Yeah, they're looking for the same move that got us a little bit of joy in that first half. Just a little left foot McLean over the top. Doesn't quite work this time, but Revan does really well to get the ball, smuggled it off him, and then coming together with Wildin. I don't know, I can't see from here, but...
The crowd today, 5,704, 850 from Wrexham. That's a terrific number. As Stevenage come forwards, dealt with well by O'Connell. Knocked long over the top, Marriott beaten to it, but Cannon scrapping for the second ball. So is Fletcher. Wrexham not able to win it till Dobson steps in. And Wrexham now can build from the back once more. Reven on the halfway line. Squares it on. There's just a bit more shape about Wrexham, just working little passing triangles and moving it around, and Stevenage suddenly seeming a very different game. The Wrexham fans, I thought it was noisy in the first half when it was going badly, but they're really making a racket now. The ball's with the Conco, knocks it long, and it'll bounce for Fletcher to try and get on the end of. Piergiani is there, gets a no-nonsense clearance into the Wrexham half. Well won back by Barnett. Lovely dribbling, beats two men, drives to the middle, plays a through ball over, hits it for Marriott. Had to go wide, I think, didn't he? Reven's in acres of space.
Yeah, that was the pass, because Wildin had come really narrow to try and help his defensive partner with the run of Marriott. But brilliant Barnett. That's just the three balls that were just in the air in the centre of the pitch. 3 contacts by Wrexham, first contacts, then the next one, then the next one. OK, they've not gone forward, but we've got first contact on it, which means we're on top, and we are able to then get that second ball. It's been so much better this half.
It's Fletcher turning. He's a heavy touchstone, he's lost it. And now Wrexham have to do some defending. Chance maybe for a shot on the edge of the box. Well, it's a free kick in a shooting position. Fletcher tracking back, but clumsy. He's legged over his man. And Stevenage may want to test the Conco from here.
Well, McLean's the one remonstrating with the ref for some reason. I think he's the one that tried to get out the way maybe and clipped him.
Well, it's in a decent spot, isn't it? Left of centre, looks less than 25 yards. You'd certainly think you'd have a goal from here. 4 men in the wall. And they're joined by Jake Young, just trying to... Well, he's a little disrupted just off the wall. They've got King on it as the right-footed option. And Phillips has come across too. He doesn't look to be involved.
Butler, left foot.
Let's see what happens as the referee gives the go-ahead. And it is left for King, right foot clipped into the box. And straight to Okonkwo. I've got to say, the angle there to play that pass, you'd have to be a worldie to get that on someone.
Well, I just don't get why you don't hit that.
Yeah.
Skiddy surface. You've seen them scored from 30 yards in the first half. Why not have a shot? Put him under a bit more pressure.
Long kick by Okonkwo. Fletcher beaten in the air, but Barnett's got it in space here and goes driving forwards. Butler looks over his shoulder for help. Barnett level the edge of the box, changes feet neatly, sweeps it across to the far post, just over Fletcher. Reven hits it into the goal mouth, and it goes across without anyone being there. It was a mishit. Great tackle by O'Connell. Good ball by Cannon. Barnett again drills into the near post. Marriott just beaten to it. It was just behind him. Good run by Marriott, and the right pass, but just a foot behind him. And now here comes Stevenage trying to break. It's a good foot in again, though. Scarred as well. And the Wrexham fans roar as O'Connell switches to the left, and Reven's got a chance to build up some pace if he wants to. Running at Wilden, he steps over, goes around the outside, chips in the near post, is behind Marius, and the ball's driven clear. But Stevenage is so deep, Wrexham are picking it up every time. Cannon, lovely fleck. Fletcher, edge of the area. Ball nearly got away from him. Good control. Barnes in space on the right. O'Connell drives forwards purposefully. Good ball. Fletcher into the box, and it's an important last-ditch tackle by Butler on Cannon. Stevenage clinging on here as Wrexham batter away. Early cross by Reven. Fletcher gets up, takes it on the chest, and then tries to hook it inside. He can't manage it, but he's still got it. It's fair to McLean, does well to ride a tackle, works it wide. Reven level the edge of the box, taking on Wilden again. This is constant pressure. Dobson now 25 yards out onto his right foot, switches it nicely to Barnett. Barnett has got his Butler isolated once more. Gets support now, does Butler. So back to O'Connell. Lovely first time ball. Dobson feeds it into the channel. Marriott turns, hits it. It's blocked by Piergiani and goes back to the keeper. Wow, that's pressure.
That is real pressure. Barnett out here, 1v1 again, really good. It's actually a really good chance for Revan because he lets it come across his body, but he just tries to lace it, and rather than just coming onto it and side-footing it, just punching it back from where it came from, because the keeper's obviously coming across the goal, just punch it back across the goal. He just gets it slightly wrong. It bounces over Marriott's head, but really good pressure. They're wide, coming out, coming across the pitch and getting it wide, switching play. Stevenage on the ropes here.
It certainly has. Fletcher flicks it on nicely, and Piagiani had to be alert there. Flag goes up against Marriott. I'm not convinced the linesman's right there. He was coming back from an offside position, bro. We're dead level. I don't know. I thought maybe he got back in time and spun, and it was the fact he had to do that. Then when Piagiani could beat him to it. But anyway, it came to nothing. But yeah, and I like Marius, who I think, and we've had some great strikers since Ugarte, but I think he reminds me of he's the first one maybe since. He really attacks that 6-yard box well, doesn't he? You know, when Barnett's putting balls in the right areas, he's attacking those right areas.
Yeah, he's just playing the percentages. Can I get across the front post? Can I read it where it's going? If he's got a bit of time on his cross, he normally hangs it up to the back post, doesn't he, for Palmer? But if he doesn't, does he wrap it in that front post where he can just maybe get that slight touch?
Cooper knocks it long, cleared with distance by O'Connor. Stevenage have it again. Wilden knocks it into the box. Powerful header away by Scar. Wrexham now looking to get out from the back under pressure. Long ball towards Maris on his own up front. Does really well to nod it down and give Reven something to chase. And that chase means that it's scooped over the stand. The pressure's telling. Throw into Wrexham on the halfway line.
Yeah, it's not difficult. I could reach over that stand, I think.
But, okay,
it's not,
fair
do you know
point.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the highest of.
That's true.
It's no Mole Road, is it?
It's not the San Siro, I accept. Throw in taken, flicked accidentally backwards, and Marriott's chasing this and can't quite get away from Piagiani, who did well to get himself between man and ball with a quick striker running at him and forcing Marriott to stretch and try and make a difficult take.
Yeah, I thought Marriott, if he's got a size 11 rather than an 8, he probably just gets a toe and scoops it the other side of Piagiani.
Marriott and the Wrexham fans are making a 890-man or person, should I say, campaign to get the keeper booked for time wasting. Every time he's got the ball, Marius is conducting the Wrexham fans behind the goal to have a go at the ref. And Stevenage, well, an indication of what we've done. They're making a change. So Jake Young is coming off. As we said beforehand, he's a very good striker, but he's in the second half barely had a touch of the ball.
No, well, Wrexham have just been so dominant. So Kemp comes on. I think they'll have a little change around with the formation.
Well, Young replaced by Kemp, who was the other one in that weird situation last season, both on loan at Swindon, both recalled at
ripping
Christmas.
It up.
Yeah, absolutely bizarre.
Embarrassing their managers of
well,
who
absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, I can't have that. I've got to bring him back.
Yeah.
And then they bring him back and then don't play him.
I think particularly Young, though,
who was
released, essentially. Well, that wasn't released, but was told, find another club, you're not going to play. And then when he went back, he publicly says, I'm not very happy about this, to be honest. Piagiani heads it clear. Cannon intercepts, though, and Wrexham are on the attack again. Barnett, 25 yards out, will have a go again at Butler. Fakes to go inside, makes the space. That's a great cross and great defending by Nathan Thompson to beat Fletcher to us at the far post. Barnett again. That's keeper's ball. That first cross, though, I couldn't see how he could even see the area to put it into, and he curled it round it beautifully.
It reminded me of Steve Guppy.
Oh,
he
wow,
was a player, the name for the past, but he never could beat anybody. Barney's got a brilliant little step over, and he just has to create that yard for him to then put it into. And when somebody goes and lunges to try and block it and puts their arm out to block it to stay balanced, it's that gap between arm and leg that if you can get it through there, it goes right into that 6-yard line. Brilliant cross. I don't think Fletcher particularly read it quick enough. Really good defending, though.
And now here comes Reven driving typically forwards, and he wins the free kick. It was a lunging tackle on him. In fact, Reven has stayed down. Great burst by him. He is getting up. He's okay. In fact, the Stevenage player, Thompson, as it appears to have come off worse. Free kick on the halfway line. And on the bench, Mullen and Palmer and Elliot Lee are about
three
to come
bad subs, right?
Not bad, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think this is just Parky's thinking we're on top at the moment.
Yeah.
It's fully in our hands. We can go. They've got them on the racks.
Fletcher fighting, wins a good header on the edge of the box. It's put over the bar by McLean. It was never really got on top of that. It's a presentable chance on the edge of the D.
Well, it was on his right foot.
Yeah.
Not particularly as sweet as his left. But good second ball again. Wrexham winning everything. Cannon definitely made a difference in there. He's the one that's just picked up those second balls. The ball down the channel to Marriott. Piergini just can't do a great deal with the header, but he heads it into the middle, and it's Cannon comes onto it and is able to pick it up.
Long goal kick by Stevenage. Comes off Scar's back. Good challenge by Barnett, and he clears it as well. Marriott now sees Reven in space, puts it rather behind him. Reven still has some room in front of him. He helps it on again. McLean making that run round the outside of him. Wrexham go back on this occasion and move it across the back three. Subs still ready to come on. The ball, big diagonal by Scar, looking for the pace of Reven, and he runs onto it. Does he keep it in? Oh, not quite. Unlucky. Difficult pass to try. Nearly got it right.
Yeah, just drifted away, skidded off the surface as well. I thought he might have just have gone to try and put it in first time. You've got to read that as a striker and think, right, is he going to keep it or is he going to put it in? The two Wrexham lads, Marriott and Fletcher, just on the edge of the box, so he's not put it in. He's tried to keep a hold of it and sadly not been able to control it and keep it in.
Am I being naive as Wrexham going to make the changes now in suggesting that sometimes the temptation that Reven gives you by breaking down the left, that temptation to use his pace and play that killer pass, and also the temptation to play Marriott in when he makes those little runs between centre-back and full-back, in a funny way isn't a good thing, because players then try that. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but a lot of attacks break down because we think, oh, we can feed him. Look at that great run, when it's probably better to play it wide and get it to Marriott.
Maybe a little bit, yes. But sometimes you've just got to take that probability and go, right, well, it's a 10% chance I might score. I'd rather take that than just keep the ball and not try it.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, there'd be a lot of, if I was an actual manager, there'd be an awful lot of nil-nils. Or, well, nils for my team, should I say.
Right.
Because they'd come in and I'd say, lads, you kept the ball really well. It was pretty. I like that. That'll be it. But they haven't made the changes. There's a long periods of treatment for a Stevenage player at Wilden, I think, is it? I'm not sure over there. I think
it's the centre mid goal scorer.
Right.
I think it's Thompson. He went down in the challenge previously.
Yeah.
And then has just sat down, really.
Mullen and Palmer actually went off to warm up again, but they've taken their bibs off again. Just feels like if you're going to make the change, you might as well make it while the treatment's going on and not take some time out of the game. Fletcher's coming across to the bench, and so is O'Connor and McLean. So are we going to go to that? Well, we haven't seen it recently. Parkinson used to have his throw the kitchen sink approach, where he'd go to 4 with a diamond. Often it'd be Mullen at the front of the diamond and 2 strikers ahead of him. Interested to see what we are going to do here with this.
Well, that would suggest a back 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. Well, those are the changes. I mean, McLean will keep running till he drops, but I guess he's got to have a break at some point in his life. And yeah, it looks like they are standing in a back 4, aren't they, with O'Connor and O'Connell.
Well, 4-3-3. Would it be Lee on the left, Cannon on the right, Dobson in the middle, and then, or maybe like you say, Mullen just at the top of that diamond.
Yeah, he does like doing that. I got to be honest. No, I think Parkinson knows a lot about football. I ain't going to start being funny about him at all for a second. But I'm slightly surprised we change our shape now when we're really dominating the game. Although, to be fair, we've had 20 minutes of domination. We haven't made that many real chances. So maybe it is time, when Stevenage on the back foot, to put our foot in the accelerator. So here we go with this new look lineup. Stevenage knock it long. It's volleyed clear by Barnett. Lovely flick round the corner to Marriott by Mullen. And now Barnett's on the halfway line, put under pressure. We'll have to go back. Dobson in the middle of the pitch again, just threads it nice to Cannon. Cannon back to Barnett. Wrexham moving it around in tight little areas, trying to pull Stevenage out of shape. And the Stevenage attacking press is non-existent now. Centre-back's able to step into the Stevenage half without any let or hindrance. Dobson, again with space in the middle of the pitch. Scar stands it up, and it's helped on by Palmer. Reven taking on his man, gets across to the far post. Mullins there, and it's headed behind for the corner. Shame it was Piergianni there, because he's good in those situations.
That's right, Mullins definitely gave him a couple of yards to try and get the run on him. Really good cross by Revan. Good possession, passage of possession for Wrexham. Nice little dink to the back post. Piergianni, brilliant defending.
Oh, yeah.
Just stands up, stays strong, doesn't get pushed off it, flicks it over the bar.
Corner then, right hand side, Lee signals. Away swinger, headed away firmly. But Revan feeds it back in. Oh, it's a sort of area where you don't want to give the ball away. And I think Cannon will get a yellow. That was very much taking one for the team. It was a poor idea, never mind pass by Revan. We were wide open on the counter-attack, so he just body checked Phillips and gets the yellow. Well done, Andy Cannon.
I think, take one for the team. And
good that he spotted that danger. My favourite ever taking one for the team, in terms of being daft, was Dave Bayliss playing at the back for Wrexham. And in exactly that situation, rather than just block off like Cannon did, just smash a bloke across the face with his arm. Red card. It was just like, why didn't you just knock him over?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Revan that, deep in his own half, feeds it on early. Elliot Lee ahead of him. Just checks inside onto his right foot. He's over-elaborating, though, and put under a lot of pressure, and he's lost it. Chance for a cross from the right-hand side now. Re-drilling it into the goal mouth, and that's a massive clearance to put it away by Scar. He's cleared the stands, but to be fair, he was beyond the far post, so that counts as a big clearance.
That is a big clearance. It's a really good solid as well, because you can go and slash at those as they come across. You try and hit them too hard. He's just got a really solid side foot there and just lifted it out, and off it goes.
I feel with Scar, when he heads or volleys the ball, it stays headed or volleyed, doesn't it? Throw in taken. Chance for a cross by Wilden. That's a good ball then, but again, Scar is dominant at the back. But it's picked up again by Stevenage. Wrexham claim it back and can now try and scurry forwards. Palmer tries a cute little layoff. It was not a bad idea, but he couldn't quite find Dobson. And it's knocked over Wrexham's defence again, but overhit. So it is, Dobson anchoring. Lee to his left, Cannon to his right, and then Mullen playing off Marius and Palmer.
Well, the way that Wrexham were playing, the front three of the Stevenage team was completely out of the game because the ball was ahead of them. They couldn't do anything about it. The wing-backs were higher and wider. They couldn't get in contact with those. Just now, if we're going to keep the ball at the back, got to make sure we take out those front three.
Wrexham restarts. Stevenage claim it in midfield. Wilden drilling a ball forwards. Crunching tackle, but he won the ball, though Stevenage complain, by Scar. And now it's Barnett bursting down the right-hand side. King comes across to him. Barnett cuts inside, goes back on his right, tees it back to Dobson, who's put under pressure and beats his man beautifully. Draws him in, bursts past him, and then hits a cross, which is too close to the keeper. He's fumbled it, though, but held on to it in the end.
That nearly went sneakily through his legs there off the back of a little soapy one coming in.
Remember Massimo Taibbi?
I do remember, yes.
How'd you make a Venetian blinds? Put him in goal for Man United? Yeah, he did exactly that for Man United. And funny enough, Alex Ferguson didn't pick him again. Big kick by Cooper. Straight to Okonkwo. Okonkwo immediately releases it. And out comes O'Connell. Up to the halfway line as Stevenage step off. He tries to feed it in between the lines for Mullen. Doesn't manage it. And now there's a breakaway on here for Stevenage. Reached it, chips it into the box nicely. But it's not brought down cleanly. And O'Connell emerges with the ball. Flags up anyway.
We could have played on, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't need to take...
He's running into space. Like you said, the three Stevenage front players are out of the game. That's what we want. Oh well. Barnett on the halfway line. Squares it inside. Dobson switching swiftly. Good ball. Now Revan is going at his isolated fullback once more. Wilden cuts inside this time to the corner of the box. Lays it back. Lee quickly back to Dobson. Barnett's asking for it. Dobson delivers. Barnett now. Butler steps out to meet him 30 yards out. Back to Dobson. O'Connell's joining into his left, but he gives Barnett another run. Butler up against Barnett, level the edge of the area, trying to make that bit of space, sweeps the ball into the far post. Palmer heads towards goal, good save.
Well, I think it was Lee, was it?
I think it's Lee, he got up really well, didn't he? Again, Barnett, like you were saying, they got cover for the fullback, blocking that area for the cross, and he still rips it between them. Lovely.
Takes it early, just out of his feet, doesn't look to beat him, just create that half yard he needed just to put it in the area. Keeper is taking ages on goal kicks and out of his hands.
Long clearance by him. Reven heads it back down the line, and it'll be a throw-in. There's a bit of me thinks that he's not going to get booked if there's a Wrexham player standing in the D, because the ref will sort of give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh yeah, there's someone in his way. He's got to take his time, make a decision, and that maybe retreating might be a better idea. Not least because, of course, we're winning all the second balls now, but we've got a player running back from offside. But anyway, long ball by Wrexham, and it's headed away firmly. Brought down by Reven. Ball just gets away from him, but Lee is there to keep it in. Dobson, again, quickly recirculating it. It's looking so good in the second half, but we're in the 72nd minute. It's still 1-0. As Dobson, hits a perler of a pass from deep. Palmer takes it on the chest, but can't retain possession. And the ball's knocked over the top. Okonkwo now. Plays it out short. Scar. Mullin drops off, offering. Dobson carrying it forwards, just looking for the right pass. Stevenage got a double sub coming. Another good ball to Palmer by Dobson. Palmer nearly gets a lucky ricochet, and then Wrexham do get a lucky ricochet off a panicked clearance. Throw to Wrexham.
Well, that's two that's coming to Palmer. He's got to keep a hold of them. They're two really good balls into his chest, into his feet. Can he just keep them for the team?
Here's Barnett cutting inside nicely, running into trouble. Was he fouled? Ref says no. I think he was right, to be fair. It was a good challenge, but it's given away. Now then, Dobson looking to find Barnett. He looks offside to me. Butler appeals. Ref doesn't give it. Barnett's running up Butler. Drills in the cross. Piagiani sorts his feet out brilliantly to just pop it off for King. He turns and looks to give a little bit of a mouthful to Butler, who's not stopping the flow of crosses and Barnett at all.
Well, Barney's just got to keep going. They've got to just keep encouraging it and just keep getting him the ball. But off the back of that, can we get an extra body in the box? Can Mullin, he's got to get in the box. Lee, he's got to get in the box. Even Reven on the other side, can you get in the back post? Because you know it's going to come in.
Jamie Reid comes off. On comes Tyree Simpson, who started up front last Saturday. And then off comes Eli King, who's putting a good shift in midfield, but was dictating terms coming forwards in the first half and has been having to drop off and defend more in the second. Harvey White, who started in that position on Saturday, comes back in.
Well, at home last season, they only lost 5 games out of their 23 here, so they are very, very difficult to beat. That's one, they don't concede a lot of goals. I know they don't score a lot of goals, but when they do get ahead, they're very, very difficult to peg back.
Throw in taken by Stevenage, won decisively by O'Connell, and Wrexham are on the front foot again. Barnett has got Marriott asking for it down the flank. Oh, badly overhead start. That pass was on. But Barnett's had a lot of quality in this half, so I'm not going to crucify him.
Yeah, I don't think he maybe had to play it. He could have just used the grass he had to just travel with it a little bit more.
It's that temptation that Marriott gives you.
Yeah,
he makes those lovely runs and you think, I've got to hit him. I don't want him to stop making runs. I'm feeling.
I don't think he'll stop making runs.
Exactly so, yeah. So again, Cooper takes a bit of time, knocks it long. And again, it's Scar. He's been terrific at the back in his physical play. Stevenage win it back. And the ball is worked down the right-hand side. Little pinged ball forward. It's a lovely flick and danger here for Wrexham. As the ball is laid out wide, that's a poor pass. Relief for Wrexham there, but Stevenage have had no real possession in our half at all.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all they've had this second half. Wrexham have been so good with the way that they have played.
Long ball forwards. Palmer is fouled in the back. Do we get better refs in League One? Because Mullin and Palmer suddenly get all the free kicks that they never got for Wrexham before. Well, maybe worse referees. Who knows? Yeah. It's taken short. Reven has got Mullin dropping off. He plays it back into his own half instead. O'Connell. Stevenage trying to step up. Okonkwo now. Palmer's asking for it long. Okonkwo sets himself. and delivers that ball. Piergian against Palmer. That's Godzilla against King Kong. Oh, and Mullin might get in on the end of this. He doesn't quite. He was blocked off by Wilden. I'm not saying it's a foul. Mullin eventually is penalised when he does try and win it back and knocks Thompson to the floor. Thompson's going to stay down for this one, regardless of whether he's hurt or not.
I thought it just wriggled out, hadn't it? Just popped out for Mullin, just maybe on his heels a little bit. Not able to just sharp enough, just get onto the ball. Good cover by Thompson.
And it was, I mean, there was definitely contact on Mullin, and I think it made a difference as to whether he gets the ball. Not saying it was deliberate, but it was on the D and I could hear it from here. So it was decent amount of contact. But to be fair, Mullin didn't complain. It was just a coming together. I'd have sent him off. Cooper hits it long and right-footed. Approaching the last 10 minutes now as O'Connell again gets it well. Throwing to Wrexham on the halfway line. Lee tries to seal it for yards while Reven picks up a replacement ball and takes it from the right place. And O'Connell slices his switch, but Barnett's got plenty of time to retreat, get it, and thinks about the ball over the top, doesn't play it. O'Connell, Scar does, and Piergiani backpedaling as well again. That was horrible for him to try and deal with as it went over his head. Wrexham got it back though. Marius on the right, feeds in Barnett. There's bodies in the box. Dobson under pressure, back to Barnett on the right. Barnett to Dobson, and he clips it forwards. He was looking for Marius, who wins it back well. Now Barnett driving forwards, works it wide. Cannon cuts back rather than crossing. Feeds it to Marriott. Marriott level the edge of the area. Squares it. Dobson takes a touch. Can't quite get out from his feet to get a shot. Works it back. Marriott has Cannon outside him and feeds him. Cannon with 2 men to beat. Level the edge of the box. Has Barnett, his mate, joining in with him. And Barnett wants to clear his house of there, which I think is sensible because he just won't get work in that situation. And then it's an underhit pass by O'Connell. Really well intercepted by Phillips. He feeds the ball forwards. But Stevenage slowed the play down, and eventually it's brought forwards by Thompson.
I just think they missed the opportunity with Cannon. Cannon could have put it in the box. He decided to chop back onto his right and set, and Marriott's the one coming onto it. I just think you've got to put it in there.
Yeah, especially at this stage of the game, you'd think. As now it's Stevenage trying to shift the ball around. Lewis Thompson working it to the right. Wilden inside, space for Phillips. He goes back out wide again. Level the edge of the Wrexham box. Tight on the right touchline. The ball's played in. Foul off the ball by Reven. Ref says not. Stevenage keep the ball though. And it's Wilden once more. 40 yards out. Now great work by Cannon to snap in, but he's not managed to disrupt. And in the end, Wrexham concede the free kick. About 30 yards out. It was good work by Stevenage, and I thought just to keep that ball in our half. For the first time in an hour.
Yeah, that's the second time really they've had any sort of passage of play. They do move it across the pitch. Then Cannon comes out, snapping, trying to get the press on. And I think it's Dobson just runs over the top of maybe a Thompson.
So free kick on the right flank. And Wrexham have to keep their focus after enjoying so much of the ball and so much of the threat in this half. Played well, still haven't made enough chances though, I think you'd have to say. As the referee gives the go-ahead. It's swept in with height. Okonkwo punches it powerfully back where it came from. Throw in to Stevenage. Decisive keeping.
Yeah, you decision one way or the other. Do you come and punch it back, or do you catch it? You've gone safety. Good punch, good height. Out the box.
Throw 30 yards out to Stevenage. Wilden really taking his time over this. Will the referee intervene? That's thrown down the line now. Phillips gives it back to him. He thinks about going back and then just turns into trouble and runs it off the pitch. Jacob Mendy is ready to come on.
Like for like, I would have thought.
Say again?
Ravan.
Yep.
Would you think you'd just like for like replacement?
Here's Okonkwo now, being put under pressure. There's no problem for him. He finds Scar, who treads on the ball in this penalty area, and then buys a free kick off the ref. It was perfectly reasonable to pass the ball around in that situation, but Scar, when he trod on it, made an issue of it. As the referee, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. The referee told him he was taking it for the wrong place, Okonkwo. The ball's being knocked all over the place. It's wasting our time, this.
It is.
9 minutes left, plus added time. Okonkwo now with the free kick. Mendy still waiting to come on. Right-footed, Okonkwo drills it long. Mullin in the air, can't get there ahead of Piergiani. Another decisive contact. Cannon snaps into a tackle and Mullin helps him out and plays a good ball to Barnett on the right. He's got 2 men in the box and Reeven on the far post trying to come inside. Barnett cuts inside himself. Cannon put under pressure by Phillips, trying to wriggle away from him. Good work by Cannon. Good work by Phillips as well to stick with him. And Cannon keeps the ball and Wrexham recirculates onto the left-hand side. Rolled down the line. Palmer pinning his man on the corner of the box. Good strength, helps it on. Good surging overlap by Lee. Reeven loses the ball though by the corner flag. It's drilled clear, but not far enough. And Dobson sweeps it into the far post, diving headed right by Butler as Mullin was lurking. And now a chance to break for Stevenage. The ball's worked over to the left-hand side. Roberts has got players pouring forwards in support. He's held it well by Scar, who follows him into the half. And they have to drive it long over the top in the end, and that should be dealt with and is comfortably. Ball volleyed clear by Barnett. Again, a burst down the left-hand side by Thompson. Good tackle by Cannon. Throwing 20 yards out. Surely, yeah, Mendy now will come on. Fresh legs, of course, you know, can make a difference. And it is Reeven who comes off.
Yeah, he's done well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially this second half.
Yeah.
A lot more of a threat.
I know Mendy, as we all know, has got a genuine direct threat. Come on, fresh legs. With 7 minutes left. That's the problem for Wrexham. Lots of good football. Not enough cutting edge. Short throw into the corner flag. And the ball held up there by Roberts. Goes out for a throw to Wrexham. So, referee just warning Roberts, he's not giving the ball back. Parkinson unhappy. There's been quite a bit of time wasted. The ref should have had a fair chunk on, really, you'd think. Throw down the line, looking for Mullin, headed out of play, throw to Wrexham. Harvey White making the header. Wrexham, Barnett rather stealing a few yards. Palmer is his target, well, he throws it to Okonkwo in the end. Okonkwo stands it up, looking in the air for Lee. It's a poor defensive header by Wilden. And Marius and Lee are hassling him. He's recovered quite well to backhead it out for a throw. Stevenage player dives to the floor, trying to claim it's a free kick. It certainly isn't. Phillips doesn't get that call. And Mendy throws it back into his own half. Okonkwo again now. Stevenage stepping up. Can Okonkwo drop something in to trouble them? Good ball towards Palmer. Flicks it on nicely. And Mendy challenges right to tackle. Gets in the box. Hits the goal line. Can he deliver? He pulls it back. Unlucky. Look for Lee. There's a good foot in to just poke it away from Lee.
Well, I think Mullin just checked and then went into the box. Just roll it, fire it in there. It might go in off the defender. Yeah. He's gone for the pullback. 3 or 4 of Wrexham players coming in on that, but well read by one of the Stevenage players.
I didn't notice a mistake in the deflection of a Wrexham player because the throw to Stevenage. Thrown down the line by Wilden. They're 5 minutes plus added time short of a second consecutive win, as that's a clattering challenge on the halfway line. Free kick to Wrexham. O'Connell really took a hit there, but he's straight up and in the box. Wrexham take the free kick quickly. The big men are up there. Ball switched to Barnett. On the right, he's got a chance to accelerate, and he powers past White. Hits the goal line, stands in the cross. Defender heads to the edge of the area. Nodded square. Palmer will have to chase that. He won't get there. Smashed away for a throw in. The Wrexham fans still roaring their team on, desperate to see an equaliser.
Well, again, Barnett puts the turbo boosters on. Goes past Kemp. And
yeah, he's put so many balls into good areas in the second half, hasn't he? O'Connell stands one up, looking for the pace of Marius. Oh, great stretch. He brings it down left side the box. He's got support. Lee has to go away from goal under pressure. Tries to double back and take his man on. And does it go out for the Stevenage throw? It does in the end. Wilden helping out. Have you ever heard a throw-in applauded so much?
Well, Marriott again on the great touch, wasn't it? Out the sky. That's where you just want to set, and then somebody's come on to put it in the box. They've had to turn out again.
Throw-in taken, attacked by O'Connell, can't win it properly. Ball drops loose, that's a powerful header to knock the ball forwards for Stevenage, and there's danger here as Thompson works it wide, too wide. I thought he might have a pop at goal himself. That's good defending as well to come out with the ball, and it goes out in the end for a throw to Wrexham 10 yards out. I really thought that he was going to have a pop on the edge of the area then, probably should have done as the pass wide was too heavy.
Mullin does ever so well to track his man back.
Barnett throwing it forwards. The bounce causes problems for Stevenage until Piergiani comes along, heads it away. Wrexham knock it forwards early. Palmer brings it down. Nice little pass to Cannon. He's got 2 men on him. Wins the throw-in. You can see why they've got the best defence in the division, because they snap into tackles. They defend their box well.
The shape really good.
Scar over the top. Keeper will come and get there just ahead of Marius. You would assume that's bounced over him, and he grabs hold of it and drops onto it in relief. Wrexham fans immediately saying time wasting. The ref's body language, the way he stared at the keeper, implies he was watching for exactly that, and he's got up fairly quickly.
They've just defended their box really well. The amount of crosses that Barnett has put into that box, they've headed everything out. I think Wrexham only headed one, maybe, Lee, that's caused the keeper any problems.
Wrexham with a free kick in their own half, and it's another chance to get that ball into an attacking position. Simpson, the player who fouled O'Connell. So O'Connell standing over the free kick in his own half. Palmer just switches to the right-hand side of the pitch so he can have a bit of angle on this long ball. Piergiani up against him. O'Connell gets the go-ahead, floats it in towards the two. They're battling away, and in the end, White gets up ahead of them, but only nods it straight to Cannon. Forwards to Mullin, back to goal, works it wide. Barnett with 2 men on him to Mullin again, right flank, tries the ball in the box. It's charged down well. Dobson battling, fouls. Had to make that foul to stop the breakaway.
Yeah, Kemp just gets his left foot just ahead of Dobson, which means Dobson has to go across him to try and nick the ball, and gives the free kick away.
2 minutes plus added time left. And the Stevenage fans are out singing Wrexham's fans for once. They made a good atmosphere, to be fair, but the Wrexham fans just have a lull as they maybe think this ain't going our way. Cooper hits it long down the right flank. O'Connell wins a good header, helped on as well by Mullin, but Stevenage claim it back, knock a long ball towards Tyrese Simpson, who brings it down really well on the right and tries a run at Mendy. Cuts back inside neatly, beating Lee. Chance for a cross maybe. Phillips feeds it to Simpson again. Lays it back to Wilden. Wilden pops it down the line and it's headed away comfortably. But the flick on doesn't find Palmer. And Wrexham have to defend a long ball forward. Scar. It's knocked into the goal mouth. Okonkwo really quick. Gets there right at the edge of his box. May have taken a kick from his own defender there, actually, as it was shielded back to him by O'Connell. See, that's why I never ran out to the centre-backs, in case they did that to me. Okonkwo's okay. Gets a big right-footed kick. 89th minute now. Palmer flicks that on well. Marriott nods it square. Helped on cleverly to Reven. 5 added minutes. I beg your pardon, to Mendy. Mendy lays it back into midfield. Lee on his right foot tries to put it in the box. Again, Phillips today has been terrific.
He's been very, very good. He's just been tenacious throughout. Just blocked, got his body in the way. A lot of ball, used the ball when he's had it really well.
Yeah, he was driving them forwards in the first half, and he's protected his defence so well in the second half. Throw down the line by Mendy. Held up well. It's a half turn. Looking for Cannon, but doesn't find him. Ball's clear to Simpson, who lays off nicely. Danger here for Wrexham again. The last defender, Scar, trying to force his man wide. Shot comes in, and Okonkwo holds on to it. Frustration in the Stevenage bench. That was a chance to finish it. But as it is, Wrexham are straight on the attack once more, naturally. On the left-hand side, it's Lee again. Phillips just hassling him. As played back to the halfway line. Dobson steps away from his man to make some space neatly, typically. But Wrexham needs some punch now. Barnett on the halfway line, feeds down the line, nice ball to Mullin. Back heels beautifully. Barnett sprints onto it, corner of the box, pulls it in. It's blocked though. and fed in. He could have taken on a yard further maybe there, but now it's another chance of a break. Wrexham are leaving the back door open here as they desperately look to try and score. Ball to the edge of the box. Great strength that by Mendy coming across the Stevenage bench, throwing a real tantrum as Wrexham come forwards again. Ball picked up by Lee, cuts inside neatly, but again Phillips is there. He's managed to pass her on this time. Dobson switches nicely. Barnett's in acres of space, level the edge of the area, sets himself, sweeps a nice looking ball in, and again Piagiani's there. Ball's headed clear and brought down, and Cannon has a little tug at the shirt, and that's enough to the referee to give the free kick. Wow.
Well, there's 4 players in the box, and one has to make the run across the front. They have to take that, because that one, it might just put off the defender on their clearance, but 2, you might just be able to get in front of that defender and nick it in. I think that's Phillips just been given man of the match as well, which just sums up where we're at. I think him and Thompson in the centre of midfield have been absolutely fantastic for Stevenage.
And their centre-backs as well have repelled so much. So, we've had 2 minutes, over 2 minutes of the added time. Long ball towards Simpson, and it's headed away well by O'Connell, but there's space for Wilden to pick it up on the right. He may well head for the corner flag here, although Stevens has got 3 players ahead of him. He decides to go to the halfway line instead. And now Piagiani in his own half launches it long, looks offside, and in fact, the Stevens player doesn't even bother challenging for that. Throw to Wrexham. Okonkwo being put under pressure now by Roberts. Feeds it to the edge of his area calmly. O'Connell into the halfway line. Cannon spins and passes out to Barnett. Barnett takes on White, feeds it inside. Mullen, who's picked up some nice areas, switches it beautifully. Mendy takes it in his stride, hooks it inside. Lee, 30 yards out. Rex Van's down to shoot. It's not on, but he dallies, and Phillips another great tackle. Another chance for Stevenage to break. It's 3-on-3 if they want to go for it. Roberts stops, then accelerates in his body checks. And that's going to be a yellow card for O'Connell. Cute play, the stop and the sprint drew him in.
That's right. O'Connell's used his body, but just stopping him just slows the defender down to then knock it past into the space and run round.
And Stevenage, understandably, will take a long time over this. It's a free kick 30 yards out. And White just chips it towards the corner flag, headed away by Barnett. Now, can Wrexham break from a deep position? Cannon scurrying down the right towards the halfway line. Good ball to Palmer. Turns it round the corner. Marriott's pace. He's beaten to it. That's surely a Stevenage throw, I thought. Great sliding tackle by Piagiani. We're into the last minute. Wrexham desperate for that equaliser. It's thrown back into the Wrexham half, and O'Connell will use Okonkwo. Stevenage screaming for the final whistle. Okonkwo, one last chance for Wrexham, knocks it long. Palmer helps it on towards the edge of the area. Massed ranks of Stevenage defenders hack it clear, and they found Tyrese Simpson, who's done well since he's come on, holding the ball up, running at defenders. He's holding it up really well now. Turns away from Lee, palms it on and gets a return pass down the right. He's offside, but he's wasted a chunk of time again doing that.
That's right. Really good hold-up play, wasn't it, by Simpson. Took it in.
So, free kick. Wrexham feed it down the line. Mendy on the chase, and there is the final whistle. And when you look at the frenzied celebrations of the Stevenage crowd and in the press box, you know that they realise that they've weathered the storm here in the second half and come out with a point they'll be very, very pleased with.
Yeah, absolutely. First half they were very, very good for their lead at half time, but second half Wrexham have pretty much chucked the kitchen sink at them, really without creating any real clear chances, but so much dominating the ball in the second half, but unable to find that gap. You can see why they've only conceded 5 in the league. They defend their box really well. There's very few gaps in between players, and they come away, when you've got in the lead, you come away with a 1-0 win against second place in the league, and Wrexham just not quite. You can't have a half like it, really. You know, that first half has let themselves down. The second half so much better, and you can see with the intensity they have the players to create and cause problems. Just not good enough first half, really.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and the nature of the goal as well on the wet surface, just skidding in, and as you said at the time, it seemed to more catch Okonkwo by surprise the way it was so quickly on him. it was right in the corner as well.
Yeah, unless he was not sighted, he had a defender in his way, and when it's hit, it's 10 yards closer when he does see it to then go. But it just seemed like he didn't really sweep catch it, did it? It just went zinging across the surface and right in that bottom corner, and Okonkwo couldn't get across.
And then we were playing catch-up. It was quite a bright start, but then after that, like I said, the half, we were on the back foot, struggling to really move the ball around much. The second half, an immense difference. But having said that, the only chances I've noted down was McLean's volley from the edge of the D on his weaker foot, which went well over and wasn't a big chance, really. No. And then Barnett's cross and Lee meeting it with a header from about 8-9 yards out. But again, not one where you'd point at Lee and say you should do better. It was decent save by the keeper, but we've not created enough when we're on top. No, and the keeper's not been really tested. He's not had 5 or 6 saves to make that you'd go, he's had a blinder to keep it at 0. He's been comfortable enough purely because of that back four of Stevenage were just so good defending that 6-yard box from any crosses from Barnett. I don't think our movement was quite as good as it has been. I'd just love to see somebody get across that near post. One to drag maybe Piagiani, who is in that focal point, who's the one that's cleared most. He's just stood there. He doesn't have to go across him and move, which does put him off. He's just able to then just set himself and head away. I'd just like to see a little bit more movement in there off the back of Barnett, because it's coming in. Yeah, absolutely, because Barnett in the second half really was ripping in some real quality as well, wasn't he? Yeah, well, he'd be my man of the match for Wrexham today. Yeah. I know that he's not created for a goal, but he has put so many crosses in. He's been there and back numerous times, and 1v1. He's been very good defensively and attackingly. And somebody has to go and put their head on top of one of his crosses, because he must be double figures easily in the game. He's put crosses in. Credit to Stevenage as well. You can see why they've got the best defence in the division. Players like Piagiani in the centre, for both centre backs, that's and right. Then as well, like the two in front Phillips of them. And Thompson protecting them. Phillips was just ludicrous, wasn't he? Yeah. He was Kante-esque, wasn't he? That type, everywhere. But any 50-50 he was on top of and wrestling with the ball, and you just never got a moment in there. Even though in the second half, Wrexham really did dominate that midfield, they were still just in the right place at the right time when needed to pick up little free kicks, to get the ball going, to clear chances, to clear second balls on the edge of the box. I thought they were very good, and you can see, like you said, they don't concede many. You can see, I thought first half they looked really bright, top end of the pitch, but then when Wrexham did get on top, they're just solid in that low block and defending their box really well. Wrexham's back three had a lot of work to do in the first half. I thought the three centre-backs did a good job of repelling. Stevenage only scored from a 25-yarder, and apart from a Okonkwo save at the end of the match when we were leaving the back door open, I thought our centre-backs were on Scarve in his first league start for us. He showed the attributes Phil Parkinson has looked for, because he's a bit like Piagiani in terms of defending the area around him, isn't he? That's right. Marvin Andrews comes to mind. He heads it further. Kreitz, they head it further than they can kick it normally. Do you know what I mean, these lads? And he looks really strong in there. He looks mobile as well. As normally when you've got that attribute, you're not as mobile, but he looks mobile. He looks like he's a leader. He's willing and talking to the two boys either side of him. I thought he did really well today. Yeah. I think maybe some of his passing he could just play rather than just going long all the time. He could change that up a little bit. But off his first start in the league, I think he's defended really well. He defended the cross that came along and he cleared it really well. He headed everything, didn't he? He's a bit of an animal in the air. So hopefully he can produce what Max was doing in the other end as well from set pieces. We didn't really have many set pieces, did we, today, that we normally look so strong as away from home. Yeah. Didn't get any on the. I don't think we got any corners on the right for O'Connor to put that patented far top corner ball in. That that's right. Well, we tended to use the away swinger, because Elliot Lee took one this side, and we used the away swinger both sides, which is a strange one, seeing we've had so much joy with that in swinger above the keeper. Yeah. Lee O'Connor was off by then, wasn't he? Of course, So Lee was on, and so we played the away swinger. But disappointing. I will say one thing though. I reckon Scar can kick it as far as he heads it, because he did make that clearance from the far side of the pitch over the stand. It's still going up. It is, yes, absolutely. It might hit Chris Waddle's penalty in space. Who knows? Anyway, frustration for Wrexham. The second half was good, but you can't come to a side that looks as well organised as Stevenage, put in a first half like that, and realistically expect to get anything out of the game. And so ultimately, Wrexham suffer a second defeat of the season. Disappointment for Wrexham, but go at it again, back in the home comforts of the Stoke Kairas, and look to get back to winning ways. With a final score of Stevenage 1, Wrexham 0. We've been Mark Griffiths and Andy Morrell.